What's up, everybody? Racing Dudes Live is back on Pegasus World Cup Day. It's Aaron, it's Magic, and it's all of you here to make some money, cashing big on a big day at Gulfstream Park. Aaron Halterman, how you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling good, and man, it's good to be back doing the live shows. We haven't done this in so long, I feel like, during the races, so it's very nice to be back. You see some familiar faces that you may not see like during the week when we do our live shows, so yeah, man, it's awesome. It's been a fun day so far, I think, but you know, the big bets and the big races are going to happen while we're on the air here, so kind of treading water, but here we go.
Yeah, I'm excited. Good to see a lot of our friends from the live shows are back in the chat. Ed, Alex, Tommy, Shoddy, Rob's there, Kevin's there, and yeah, Kevin, it is the iRed show today. 5 wins so far, and we've still got 4 races left. It should be 6. We both really wanted exact estimate to get there, and iRed wrote him perfectly. He just got caught at the wire. As Mike Somich likes to say, it's so hard to go gate to wire on that Gulfstream Park synth. So still, it's iRed Ortiz's world, and he opened it up with a 73-1 daily double. Like, iRed on a big day, 73-1 daily double. What?
Well, I mean, it was one of those situations. Yeah, race 2, he wins with Speakeasy, and Speakeasy was a horse that just got ignored because there were some buzz horses in there. The 5 in that race was a big buzz horse. And then also, you know, you had Tacitus' brother, who everybody was kind of betting too. So, you know, it took a lot of money. And then the next race, he was on an AE horse, a horse to draw in off the also eligible. So he stuck around there. Now, hasn't been so sneaky lately. He's been on some more logical ones here. By the way, the iRed effect in the betting, holy cow, Fluffy Sock is 2-1 in this race, and it's all because iRed Ortiz Jr. is aboard. So this could be, dare I say, and tempt fate here, this could be where you take advantage of it, because I don't know. I'm not sure Fluffy Sock should be 5-2 in this race, Magic.
No, I get kind of why she is. Other than the iRed factor, you also have the Grade 1 matriarch to kind of point at last time out at Del Mar that she just lost by a short nose, and it was to a stablemate that had a much better trip and surge capacity. But this is a horse, Fluffy Socks, I used in my pick 5 that still alive, had Olivia something or other that won the last leg there, the inside information stakes. But Fluffy Socks is a horse that I have tried to beat almost every time that she's run. And unless she's at Churchill, Aaron, it seems like she's just always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But when you have the best filly mare race on turf racing in a different race today, it kind of makes her a little bit logical. She's still not my top pick in here, but this is a tough one. And I think that's a big iRed effect as well, like you said.
Yeah, I should probably back up a little bit what I said. I don't think she's impossible, but at the same time, I don't think 5-2 is a logical price to play on Fluffy Socks. Or even if you love her, you're still going to play her. I don't think that's the price you would have envisioned or wanted on her with a horse like Star Fortress, who I thought would get pounded in this spot. Magic, she's 4-1. That is shocking. And then here's Didia sitting here with all the class in this field. She's sitting there at 4-1. So, look, if you like Fluffy Socks, I'm not saying, well, you better jump off of her. 5-2 isn't the worst price in the world here, right? But if you don't like her, I think the iRad factor is giving you a better price on some of these other horses here.
Yeah, Star Fortress, I left her off my pick 5, and one of the reasons was I thought that she would get pounded, just kind of like you're saying here. She had so much hype off of that dominating Grade 3 Cardinal win last out, but that was her first race in North America, and Size was aboard, and so Size keeps the mount. You would think that's a good sign, and it is usually a good sign here, but the bettors don't seem to think so. I think that there's a lot of bettors that are mad that iRed won at 7-1, 8-1, and 10-1, and they weren't on board, and there might be some money chasing going on here.
Yeah, no, for sure, and I think that's just going to be just kind of the interesting thing as we go, not even this race, but go on through all of them here. Because I think, you look at Irad and say, okay, he's won on some horses that weren't like standouts for sure. Like maybe you could make some logical cases for those. But then like you go through and it's like, he's not really on a horse the rest of the way that's going to be there, or that should maybe be in the odds that low, right? Mm-hmm. So we're seeing it now. Now, what if Fluffy Socks loses? Does everybody go, oh, never mind? Or what? Because like you look at it, like race 13, the Pegasus World Cup, he's on Dynamic 1, okay? Like shouldn't get a ton of money. He's on I'm Very Busy in the 12th race, and 15-1 morning line. Like, so he doesn't have those live on paper at least mounts. So that's going to be extremely fascinating. Just like this one, this is his livest mount on paper left.
Yeah, I agree with you that if you look at those other races, I swear if Dynamic One wins the Pegasus World Cup, there's going to be a lot of cursing on this show, and not just in the chat. You might hear Aaron and I slip some stuff out there too. Let's talk about another horse taking a ton of money here, and it's not a huge surprise to me because it is Dick Mandela traveling outside of California. He rarely does it, and usually when he does, he brings a good one. Ruby Nell, I think, is a really talented, strong filly, but I think she's a great California filly, and she seems to be almost all speed. I would love to see a great speed jockey like a Saez, maybe a Pratt on her in this position, even a Jose Ortiz. Frankie Dettori, no shot against him. Everybody knows his world-renowned pedigree and his resume, but Frankie Dettori is based in California too. He's never been riding Ruby Nell. He's here. I can't trust her at that short of a price when I think there's a lot of speed to go with her, Aaron.
Yeah, and I think we just kind of saw with the one horse in the 8th race, the number 1 horse, Francisco Clemente, when the pace is live up there. I know this speed course does favor speed, or this turf course does favor speed sometimes, but when there's a live pace, those closers are going to come get you, and you saw it. And look, you're right. I think if you envision this race, you look at it and go, well, I think Ruby Nell is loose, then yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But I'm kind of with you. I don't think she gets loose here. I think there is enough pressure up front. And she is the type, to me, against this class of field, if she does take pace pressure, she's going to have a little trouble finishing. I mean, maybe she could hit the board or something like that. I don't think she can win it unless she's loose on the lead. And again, like I said, I'm just like you. I don't necessarily think she's going to be out there by herself.
I see that Michael Olsen tuning in or checking in with us that Messier, who I was completely surprised was still running, was at Laurel Park and apparently did not do well. Poor Messier. He did. I don't know why he got Ontario bred. He never once run him in Canada. Go to Fort Erie. Like, they've got dirt racing for Ontario breds there. Maybe he can win something. Shadi talking about a horse that I like here, Mission of Joy, kind of getting ignored on the board. She's 16-1. When Fluffy Socks, Ruby Nell are all taking money, someone's going to get left behind, and one of them is Mission Joy. Aaron, I like this horse because 8 of her 9 turf starts, I thought that they were very competitive. Last time that she raced, she was third by 1 length to a horse named Maj, who just missed winning the Breeders' Cup Mile in her next start. And then 2 back for Mission Joy, she lost to the horse that was my top pick in race 6, and that was Alpha Bella, who went gate to wire and looked very impressive there. So I like this horse a lot, but I know that you seem to have all sorts of problems whenever it's a Grand Motion horse, and we all have those trainers. Grand Motion's one of those for you. So what did you do with Mission of Joy? Please tell me you left her off because it's going to make me feel better.
Yeah, good news for everybody that likes Mission of Joy. It's not one I used, and again, and this is the God's honest truth, guys. And it's not even a knock on Grand Motion, who I think is a very good trainer. I never get him right. When I use him, when I rely on him, the horse doesn't show. And when I'm like, yeah, I don't think Graham's got a good enough horse here, it's a win. So look, this is what should or could happen to me. This happens to me all the time, where I relied on him earlier. He was awful. He comes in here with a horse with Mission of Joy. Like you said, there's reasons to like her. I just kind of thought, no, she's not good enough. She'll probably jump up and win. I mean, that's kind of how it goes. And look, I mean, you look at the race last time out, and you mentioned it. You got beat by Maj. I mean, nothing to sneeze at there. Only got beat a length, and like you said, has been beaten by a few horses that are awfully good, and has beaten some pretty nice horses as well. I just don't think she's quite good enough here. But look, if you like Mission of Joy, she's 16-1. That is a price that is absolutely playable.
Let's see, another horse we can talk about. We talked about Ruby Nell. We talked about Mission of Joy. We haven't talked about either of our top pick in this race. Aaron, who are we going with to win the Filly Mare Turf on top?
Well, I'm going to give you a big assist. So I'll brag on you for a second. I love now that Magic, and this didn't happen like overnight, but it wasn't all that long ago. Probably, I don't know, 6 months ago. Magic kind of just noticed that you're really starting to lock into this horse racing thing and picking very, very well and making very smart handicapping decisions. So I love now that I can run things by you and feel like we can have a good talk. And so. Magic did a great job. I mean, a great job talking me off a win wager of the 3 in the 9th race. And exactly what he laid out to me is exactly what happened. And so then we get to the 10th race as I kind of come around it here. I really liked the 4-Star Fortress. And he was like, look, I don't think she's a horrible play, but here's why I think the 9 is a better play. So we'll see if Magic is right 2 out of 2. He kind of talked me to it. The number 9, Didia, just a horse with a lot more class, been facing a lot tougher company than the number 4-Star Fortress. And I'll let you kind of lay out why you liked the 9 over the 4 because you really kind of convinced me of it.
Yeah, if you scratch off the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf, which was, I think we all would say she was in over her head, and you understand why they took the shot. She had a free trip because she shipped to Santa Anita and won the Rodeo Drive very impressively over a horse in Anisette that we both really liked. Anisette, by the way, dusted the pants off of Ruby Nell when they showed up against each other. But if you scratch that off, Didia's 9 of her first 10 races on turf were all wins. That was overseas in Argentina, down in South America, but then also twice at Colonial Downs, Fairgrounds, Churchill Downs, Santa Anita Rodeo Drive. And to me, what also stood out was the Grade 1 New York when she beat McCulloch and she beat, was White Beam. There was another Chad Brown in there that lost. Marcus Segmentation won, but just barely by 3/4 of a length. If Marcus Segmentation shows up here, she would be probably your favorite in here, I would assume, over Star Fortress. I think she might be retired now, so maybe she still wouldn't be. But still, if you look at the races that she's faced, the company that she's kept, if you scratch off the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf, I didn't understand why she wasn't even the favorite on the morning line. Now, Pete Aiello, hearing a lot of chatter, I'm sure, on the 4-Star Fortress, made her the morning line off of that one very dominating effort. But something we both learned the hard way with fierceness from John White, you've got to be willing to give a horse one pass for a bad race. And in this case, it wasn't even so much that she was bad because she was 4.5 lengths behind Inspiril and Warm Heart. That's really good. It looks bad because she was 10th out of 12 when it was like a huge blanket of horses there. So she was still competitive, even if the form says that she kind of wasn't there.
Yeah, no, I think you laid it out perfectly. And I think you kind of, listen, I think our biggest, or no, I'm not going to speak for you. I think my biggest worry still is, what if the 4 over here in this country just kind of is better than everybody else? And I think that's still a worry, but I do think, the way you laid it out and the way you kind of told me, look, I mean, Didia, even if this 4 is a monster, Didia has ran against monsters and it either won or been really, really close to winning. And so if you don't think the 4 is a real, like, unbelievable horse, you probably should just go with Didia because she's going to be a much better price. Now, and this isn't your fault, but the one thing we didn't account for is we thought Star Fortress was going to get pounded. And I really believe if Irad had won 2 today instead of as many as he's won, Star Fortress would be getting that money. So that's kind of just part of it you just never know about. But the logic makes sense. Didia has been the class of this group coming into the race. She definitely has been facing the better horses. So if she fires, I'm very confident at 4-1, we're going to at least get excited about her chances of winning. If she wins or not, we'll see. But the more you talk to me, it's like he's really right. She's the class of the field. And if the 4 isn't a freak, the 9 really should be favored over the 4.
And a reason I didn't like the 4, other than the price, I was worried about it, but she raced, the Cardinal Stakes takes place at Churchill Downs over Thanksgiving weekend. Thanksgiving weekend, if you want the best turf racing, you go to Del Mar. Or if you had a really great turf horse, it probably is resting because it was just in the Breeders' Cup. So Star Fortress dominated those horses, but if you look through the 5 that she beat, there's nothing that really makes you go, yeah, that horse would be better than 15-1, 20-1, 30-1 in this spot. So she beat, to her credit, she dominated horses she should dominate, but there was nothing that I really loved about her overseas work, including the fact she's never run 8.5 furlongs. It's always been 9 furlongs, 10 furlongs, 12 furlongs. Like, that horse probably should have been in the La Prevoyante earlier on the card that Alpha Bella won, But she got invited to this bigger race at grade 2, more money. So you understand why the connections are here. I just felt like she was better suited for the 1.5-mile race that we saw earlier.
You're right. Yeah, and I think that's another factor. We hadn't even talked about it yet, but you're right. The distance is a much shorter distance here than what she's used to running, and it's going to play a factor, I think. And look, with an international horse coming in from overseas, I mean, that certainly makes sense, right? And so then you look to Didia. Her 3 races in the United States at this distance, all 3 wins. Now, I know that it's been a little while, and I also know those were against kind of a little bit lesser company, but still, you can't take that away from her. Like, you've seen it at the distance. She's very good. Yeah, she stepped up even longer, and she still ran good as well, but maybe this cutback, she's really going to be feeling good. And she's got a little bit of a freshening, 84 days off, a little bit of time after running a pretty tough campaign as well. So, again, you go back and you go over this and over this, you just kind of keep circling back to, I don't know if she's going to win this race or not, but at the odds she's going to be, she's probably the smartest play for me.
Well, we got 0 minutes to post. They're kind of circling on the dirt still to get some. That pick 4 pool is about to go over 1 million, so I think that's what we're waiting on here. But let us know in the chat who you like in these races. That's kind of, if you're new to this, that's part of the fun, is you tell us who we like, and if we like it, we'll agree with you, and if not, we'll at least put your answer up there on the screen. And Aaron probably still remembers last year the Pegasus World Cup. We had 2 guys in the chat that were all over Art Collector, and they're on Art Collector. It's not for us, but when Art Collector won, you better believe every comment those guys had we were putting on the screen. So,
yep.
Let us know who you like in here. Rob likes the 1-6-11. The other Chad Brown horse was the other one I have in my pick 4 ticket, the number 2 Chili Flag. It's Flavian Pratt on a Chad Brown horse. She's 35-1 right now. And her 2 best races since coming to America were at this distance, including winning a stakes debut in the exacta 10 of her 15 career starts, including all 6 in America. Did you consider her at all?
A bit. Yeah, I did. I at the end of the day, I just couldn't pull the trigger. But again, it's another one was kind of on the fringe for me, I would say. And I just think if you're looking for that kind of a price, I think that one you can logically get there with that horse, I guess, is kind of the best way to put it.
Shotty says she likes Chili Flag underneath. Listen, if you play Chili Flag underneath, it doesn't matter who wins. That's going to be a nice exacta or a trifecta. Valleys of Peaks brings up a great point. Yeah, 6 traveled for a reason.
Yeah, a lot of people on the 6, and I really, like I said, I don't really blame you. If you believe this horse is going to get out there to the front and be a length ahead of everybody else and kind of get into that cruising speed, if that's what we see up the backside, everybody that likes the 6 is going to be really happy. Like, that's her path to win. It's not impossible that happens. I think there'll be other pressure, though.
Curtis calling out the post-time dump from the 3 Accomplished Girl. We got one more horse to go into the gate. Surprisingly has Ushane Murphy and not a normal Pletcher jockey aboard. We'll see what happens. They're off.
Here we go.
Good break. Ruby Nell not going to the front. Already a surprise. She's going to get pinched and get mid-pack going into this turn. Now, I do know in the matriarch, the last race that she lost at Del Mar, Mandel had said they were trying to rate her because they thought it would happen. The jockey just kind of overrated her. So hopefully she's not overrated here at 3-1. 4-1. 4-1's what she'll be.
So, yeah, I mean, that's very interesting. Didn't go to the lead. They're not going fast. That's the other thing. Not going fast at all. If you're a Didia supporter, raise your hand.
She's perfectly spotted.
Perfect. Like, win or lose, who knows? You never know until they ask the question. But if you're going to draw up a trip for her, this is it. It's going slow on the lead or just right off of it.
Yeah.
Kind of dictating the race. She has no excuse other than she's not good enough if she doesn't win. So we'll see.
Any concern about the Zaya Safi Joseph horse, the 3 Accomplished Girl? I feel like she's probably, especially on the inside, going to cough it up.
Yeah, I don't think she'll be able to go with Didia kind of hounding on her outside. It'd be surprising. But, Safi's having a good day today. We'll see. They're kind of cranking it up, the 3, and we'll see what happens here. The 10 is looking big. I don't know if the 10 can sustain it, but that horse.
Star Fortress is going to make a big wide run here in those burgundy colors.
Yeah,
Didia needs to kick on pretty hard.
Well,
surprisingly, he's got a rail trip
until now, and now she's kicking on great. But there's one.
Watch out for this 12. Watch out for this 12.
Murphy. This is going to get tight. I think Didia's got it. And
yes!
I'll tell you something right now. This guy.
Yes!
The level of improvement of this guy up here in this sport is absolutely phenomenal. I want everybody to know that's watching, this guy up here just saved me a ton of money and won me a ton of money. That's all that guy up there at the top. He handicapped that perfect. You feel like it. Like if I would have picked the 4, I would have felt awful. The 9 wins easy. Great job, Magic.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, you probably saved
You ruined my celebration. I was all celebrating. You had to go and compliment me. You know I hate compliments.
Seriously, you probably saved me like a $50 win wager on the 3 in the last race. And then you saved me, I would have bet, I don't know what, on Star Fortress. So, I mean, great job. Great call. Love you.
9-12. I think Ruby Nell held on for third. Star Fortress last across the wire, in at least of the group that they showed.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
yeet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very good. I love that. I love it. Kevin said he hit the bet, but 12 would have been much better, obviously, for him.
Great call, Kevin.
That way, I was gonna see. I'm bragging on people today and not myself. I was gonna brag on Kevin. Kevin, that's a great call. I did not see the 12 doing that, and I was scared shitless the 12 was gonna win that race. So great call by Kevin. Sorry you didn't get it. I'm sure me saying great call really doesn't help your disappointment, but oh well.
Well, and to surprisingly's credit, I said it right when they were going in the gate that there's no usual Pletcher jockey on. It's Oisin Murphy. So great turf rider. His dirt work can still sometimes be a little iffy, but surprisingly, I didn't see either. And this is a horse coming off of a layoff since August. Like we saw her, run horribly at Saratoga on August 24th, a race that Fluffy Socks got second, which Fluffy Socks hits fourth. So hits the board, doesn't win. That's Fluffy Socks' MO. But yeah, Kevin, great call on surprisingly. I really didn't think that would be something we saw out of her.
Yeah, no, not at all. I was surprised, pleasantly surprised. No, it was good. That was stupid. Sorry, I won't do that again. Ruby Nell, who we were like, what are they doing? Got third. I mean, ran okay. Kind of a blanket finish there a little bit. But, yeah, Ruby Nell ran great. And Irad gets fourth on Fluffy Socks, and I think that's just kind of that's that horse when she faces like the top. Not that these horses were top, but when she faces the really tough races, she's a second, third, fourth type.
Yeah. I was, again, about surprisingly, I saw her moving up the rail, and I thought Diddy was going to lose if she didn't see the horse. This is sometimes that you'll see a horse get beat up the inside when a horse like Diddy is on the outside, because especially if Diddy had blinkers on, I don't think she would have seen the 12. If they think that the horse thinks that there's nobody around them and they've got the lead, they almost they don't turn it off, but they kind of idle. So I was waiting. I wanted Jose to steer her over to the rail, kind of pull an Irad and hurt a little bit, just so that she could see, you got somebody coming. You better get your ass moving in gear still. But she got the job done. If you're an Ortiz, you've won 7 out of 10 races so far today. That's, my goodness. Imagine being Jose. I only won 2 races so far.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it crazy? I mean, and I was kind of with you. I was like, we need Irad on here right now to go crowd that horse on the inside a little bit. But it was a very confident ride from Jose. Even at the top of the stretch, we're like, she's not running. Well, she wasn't really asked yet. So, once they kind of snapped it in, she was fine. I will say this. So let's pretend for a second, we got time to kill, that Ruby Nell would have been where the 3 horse was for Safia. That would have been a little scarier if you had a horse like Ruby Nell on the lead with Didia trying to get by. So, because I think once Didia was asked, she put the 3 away, and it was just kind of that's a little confidence boost. Where if she has the 6 to her inside and she's having a battle, it could have got a little bit different. What do you think about that?
It definitely would have been a lot tougher. The 3 faded, but she didn't fade horribly. I think you're right with Ruby Nell, especially if Ruby Nell got to do 24-4, 48-3 on the front end. It's a lot different than when you're behind horses and you're a speed horse taking that kind of speed. So she would have had a lot less. She did have a lot left. This is a horse in Ruby Nell that I thought was her best race is probably mile to a mile and a 16th, like here. Still say be careful betting Ruby Nell beyond that, because now you're not going to get anything close to 4-1 because she's going to go back to California, and it's going to be her versus Anisette. And when they go 9 furlongs, I'll take Anisette all day. But, well, Pete, her excuse was, and I don't mean to poop on a world-class jockey, the instructions, I believe, were probably for Dettori to take back a little bit to try and rate her, because Mandela tried that last race with her. I don't know. I think if you read those fractions, don't you want the jockey on a speed horse to kind of go up there and go after him a little bit?
I mean, if you would have told me they went that slow early and she's not on the lead, I would be really surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know what the instructions were, but to me, I'm not shipping a horse from California all the way over here that has early speed and then rate her. Like, I bet that's probably what they told her or told Frankie. I don't know, but I was very surprised to not see her on the lead. And look, I think if you bet the 6 there, you're pissed because what the hell? Like, why weren't you there? And it's one thing if it's 22 to the opening quarter. Hey, don't get involved. But when we're 48 and the most likely horse is sitting right there on a 48 pace, I mean, that's crazy that the 6 isn't in front. But what are you going to do, you know?
The a quick update for the Bible. If you were playing Aaron's recommended wagers from the wagering guide there, you just got $86 back for a $20 bet. So congrats to everybody who played that one. Speaking of Aaron, there's a little break between this and the Fred Hooper. We're going to Oaklawn, baby, aren't we?
I guess we are.
Did you really not want to cover this race? I thought you wanted to.
No. Let's cover it. So we do have time. We're not taking away from Gulfstream. I want to make that clear. But I do. Husker Butch, the two horse in the 6th race at Oaklawn running today. I've got ownership in that horse. So, yeah, well, I guess we'll cover this one. Sure.
Now, you don't just have ownership. You have first bill. Like, you look down here, owners, and it goes Aaron Halterman, and then the trainer, and then those other 2 jokers. Like, it's Aaron Halterman over everybody, including the trainer right there.
Well, sometimes you just make really good friends with the trainer and the trainer's son. So sometimes they treat you better than they should treat you because you're friends with them. So I'm not the top owner, I don't think, percentage wise, but I do certainly appreciate them doing that, and they certainly did not have to do that. But yeah, they're good folks, and Husker Butch, if you haven't been following him up at Iowa, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Ran okay at Keeneland, and then ran an absolute horrible race last time out at Oaklawn. So that's why I'm a little bit down on him, but we'll see what happens.
Well, they're calling him out there too in the mud and the slop at Oaklawn Park. How does he like the slop, Aaron? Was his mutter a mutter?
No, he runs pretty well in the slop actually.
He looks nice.
Yeah, no, he's the thing about it is the last race he was training better than he's ever trained before leading up to that race. So we were pretty excited, and then he ran the worst race of his career. But when you go to the slop, he's been in it twice. He ran in a starter allowance race at Prairie Meadows in the slop, and he ran pretty well. He got 3rd that day, but it was a tougher race. He also ran in the slop at Keeneland in a starter allowance. Again, probably too tough of a race for him. He ran okay again, so the slop really shouldn't hurt him.
He is 26-1 right now. So people a little not really loving Husker Butch too much. The favorite's the number 7 Infiltrator right now is 9-5. Eddie Milligan Jr. with Christian Torres aboard. Anytime Torres gets aboard a horse, you gotta look out for him. Was the 7 Infiltrator your top pick in this spot?
Yeah, I liked the 7. I actually like the 8 on top. I put the 8 first, the 7 in second. And by the way, if you're watching this, don't feel inclined to make a wager on Husker Butch right now. I don't think he's got a great shot today, so just want to throw that out there for people. I mean, if you want to put $2 on him, go ahead. Don't bet much, though. But no, I like the 8 a little bit. I do like the 7 as well, coming second off the layoff after running 3rd at this level last time out. The 8's kind of moving up from Fairgrounds, so maybe a little bit of a different scenery will help the 8. Asmussen and Ricardo, kind of an old school, pairing there. Used to see that every race at Oaklawn, so we'll see what happens with them. But yeah, I mean, look, hopefully he just runs okay, and we don't have to have a discussion about dropping him for 10,000 or something. But we'll see.
Are there any of you out there watching who have just an extra 30,000 laying around? You could really make Aaron Halterman's day if you halter Husker Butch out of this. Look at that. On the screen, it says owner Aaron Halterman et al., which means Aaron Halterman and a bunch of bums.
like I said.
Are those your silks that he's running in?
No, those are another partner, Jake Van Orts. That's his silks, and I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think Jake owns the majority of the horse. It's either him or Kelly probably own the majority, or at least they're equal partners in it. And then, their group of buddies that I thankfully am a part of kind of got in for the rest of them type of thing to just have some fun. And listen, we've had a great time. It's a group of, I think there's 1, 2, 3, there's 5 of us, there's 5 of us. And we just kind of like to watch him. We don't take it too serious. We just like to have a good time. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun.
Kevin, all right, so if you're new to the live shows, of any of the live shows for the Racing Dudes team, Kevin B is almost always the MVP of the chat because he'll just say something that breaks me really hard. And I usually come on here trying to break Aaron, so that it really takes a lot to get me. And yeah, Aaron had to sell his portion to pay for a new floor in his attic.
Yeah. So if people don't know, my arm is broke, and it's because I fell through the ceiling of my garage. So yeah, my arm's broke in like 4 places. So that's why I got the sling on. So that's what Kevin's talking about. So yeah, like Husker winning and getting claimed. Maybe I could pay the medical bills with that. That'd be great. Well,
oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You guys don't offer health insurance to your employees. I have right back here the silks for my. Dr. Miranda made this, so if I ever get into horse ownership, these are like the silks I am going to have. You got the nice silver K, the Detroit Lions colors, the nice little silver and white bow tie there. So I am perfectly ready for my horse ownership. I just need the $30,000 to get into it.
Tell you what, you and Didier and Kevin B have put me in quite a mood now. I'm just laughing and having a lot of fun. So yeah, that was a good line. Those are nice silks. Miranda painted me some too.
You're just not proud enough of them to put them on screen. I see.
I think they're downstairs, not upstairs, and I don't want to leave you. I don't want to leave the people. So
the people. All right, 4 minutes to race 6 over at Oaklawn Park. Trying to look through it. I see Dwayne Lucas has Ram in here. It's nice to see that Ram is still racing. He's 4-1, and it's Keith Asmussen riding for him. And no shot at Keith. He's a good enough rider, but Ram gonna finish 5th, maybe. Where do you put him in this spot?
I mean, he'll probably beat us, and that's embarrassing. But we'll see what happens here. Usually, when you see Ram at a short price, you go, "Okay, well, I can make some money here." But honest to God, so what happened at Oaklawn? They had horrible weather. Then they had a week where they couldn't even run. The weather was so bad. This is their second day back. The biggest thing, like recommendation I can give people who play Oaklawn, when the weather is so inconsistent like this, you kind of need to tread lightly. I'm not saying don't play it, but don't bet a ton of money. And what I'm saying is it's a very unpredictable track until the weather stabilizes. That track can just be very weird. You see the results today. That plays in the favor of Husker Butch because, hey, we need an upset. There's been some upsetters, so maybe he can do it.
Curtis Banlow, the other Curtis in the chat, says that 2 Curtis Racing's first stallion will be Come Honor. Well, you know what? That'll be our first horse out of Honor Marie, who's on my fantasy team. So if Honor Marie wins the fantasy league for me, I'll have enough money to buy a horse. Probably not a very good one. And yeah, Curtis, there will be 2 Curtis Racing. We'll be in those silks. As long as we can be in those silks, we can call it 2 Curtis Racing. Though people are going to wonder why it's a K. We might have to change that into a C. But yeah. A C with the Roman numeral 2, like, in the middle of it. I can already picture it. Kind of like the Montreal Canadiens where they got the C and the... Yeah, okay. Aaron's just dead.
I thought I was having fun just like on the Discord chatting with people watching the races. This is so much better. We should have went live hours ago. No, because it was not a good time for either of us until after the exact estimate race. So we were hurting from that. Honestly, I wasn't upset at all. Like, kind of treading water type stuff. And then when the exact estimate kind of got nosed out there, I was like, oh boy, like, is this going to be a shit day where I get a bunch of emails? And then it's been better since. So that's good. But yeah.
Have we gotten any? No, we actually haven't. We haven't gotten any emails yet. Usually there's someone that'll send a nasty email about a half or 2/3 of the way through a card if we've had an up and down day. And sometimes even if you've had a good day and you're wondering, like, what were you playing if we were hitting everything? But usually when those emails roll in, that's when things really take off. So if one of you wants to just sacrifice and be that asshole, contact@racingdudes.com. Tell us we suck. We'll we'll finish off the pick 3 here. I see Ed Burke says he's got a 50-cent try key, 2 over 6-9.
What could go wrong?
So many reasons I love that one. You've got an Arkansas bred, you've got Luis Fuentes, and you've got Husker Butch. That will be about all the money if you can get that one home. I'm not saying it's a horrible one because I don't have a feel on this other than Rams not going to win. He's 0 for 21, dating back to May of 2022.
Yeah.
21. Yeah. Oh, Ram.
Well, I mean, again, he'll probably beat us, so how embarrassing will that be? That's what I keep. When we're in a race and we are sitting around and we're like, oh, look at this horse. It's like, yeah, and when it beats us, we're going to feel real good about ourselves. So we're up to 34-1. I don't know, maybe. I don't know that we're the worst horse in the race. That's what the odds are saying right now.
Checking out other things. Let's see. 10 minutes still to post for race 11, the Fred Hooper Stakes. As soon as the Oaklawn race is run, we will we'll switch back over and talk Gulfstream Park. So if you're looking for that, consider this your potty break time. The women's match on AEW Dynamite is happening right now. So come back for the main event in about 15 minutes. Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say quick thing. I just clicked it over there real quick to look at the odds. Are you surprised, if I could speak? Are you surprised that Hijazi is 8-5? I thought he'd be bet harder than that.
That's very surprising. Creative has taken a ton of money. That's got to be the IRAD factor.
Oh, that's IRAD again. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, 7-2 second choice right now for Creative, and I mean, could definitely hit the board. I think is a total pass to win. So really, the only horses taking money are those two, and then Steel Sunshine for Bobby DeBona and Paco Lopez. Not a horse I'm that familiar with, but yeah, so that's an interesting move as well for Steel Sunshine to be there, 5-1.
Yeah. Curtis said, is the AEW owner a perv too? I think he's a virgin, Curtis.
Yeah, probably. I think he's. I think his attention is a little too deficited to be focused on women right now. But
fair.
But there it is, Shadi. If you're watching the chat, Shadi just posted the link for the discard. It does expire after I think 10 or 15 minutes, so please join us. It's a ton of fun. A lot of the people that you're seeing here in the chat are also in the Discord. It's been blowing up. I feel bad because my phone is just like it's all Discord notifications right now, and I'm not gonna look because I'm here on screen. So, but yeah, that's great. Where is it? I saw somebody. Okay. They're going to the gate at Oaklawn. Royal Rumbles tonight. Aaron and I are almost as excited for the Royal Rumble as we are for Pegasus World Cup Day. My top 4, I think, is the same as yours. Our top final 4. It's going to be Drew, Punk, Cody, and Gunther. I don't know. We've talked about this. Who's going to win it? I think Punk wins the Rumble. I think I've landed on Punk winning the Rumble.
Wow. I'm on Gunther.
Gunther's a good one. I think all 4 of them, you can make a solid case for that one. So,
yeah, if it's that Final 4, it's going to be fun no matter what. You can go a lot of different ways, and it'll make sense. But, yeah, I'm going Gunther. And, listen, if Punk wins it, it's going to be pretty insane. Like, the reaction's going to be nuts. So that'd be fun for sure.
All right, getting just about everybody loaded in there. Husker sitting nice and pretty in post number 2. Sitting nice and chilly on the board. That's okay. Shotty got that win show bet in on him. She's about to dance all the way to the bank. 48-1. Husker, longest shot by far.
So everybody hates him.
Oh, I forget. I always forget when I turn on Oaklawn and I brace when I unmute it. Oh, it's Matt Dinnerman. That's right. Okay, the golden sounds of Matt Dinnerman. They're off. Good break for Husker.
Good break. Really good break. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where you want him. That's kind of where he wants to run, mid-pack-ish. So usually if you know he's going to fire, he'll run mid-pack, and then he'll just kind of swing out the top stretch and try to run. So we'll see. He's
backing up.
Well, yeah, because he's not very fast, let's say. They're not going very fast, and he's about done, I think. So we can go back to Gulfstream pretty quick.
Come on, stay with him. He's moving now. He left a couple horses behind.
He might be 2 or 3.
Come on, Husker. Come on, Husker.
I mean, I'd like him to like beat that pack that's in front of him right now. That kind of might be okay. It doesn't look like he's going to. So
is that him?
Yeah,
he's got a few of them behind him. Get up there, Husker. Come on, Husker. Come on, buddy. Get up there, Husker. You're not going to win it, but he's going to do well here. Come on, look at this finish. He changed his leads nicely. Yeah, top 5. Get top 5. Top 5, baby. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. 7th, but can we say a good 7th? That's better than last race by far.
Oh, it's way better than last race, and I think for him that was pretty good. That's how I'll say it. It wasn't good. Yeah. It definitely wasn't good, but for what he is, that wasn't bad.
All right, we got 6 minutes to post over at Gulfstream Park for the Fred Hooper. They just are hitting the track, I should say. Let me get things pulled up here for the 11th race, and we'll talk about the Fred Hooper and Hijazi. 9-5? 8-5 now. Oh, he's back down, but this just tells me, Aaron, there's going to be a ton of late money that pours in on him, and we're going to have he's going to be like 4-5 off or something at this rate.
Yeah, even with the IRAD factor, I'm really surprised. I really thought he would be shorter than this, but again, I really didn't think Accretive would be 3-1 either. So it's very interesting. I mean, as a guy who thinks Hijazi is going to be very tough to beat, I'm very, very happy with the odds. If he wins, that's going to be fantastic. I don't really know what to make of it, though. Is it a bad sign that he's a Baffert? He looks pretty darn good, and he's not taking any money. I mean, that's kind of scary, a little bit.
Well, this isn't a group of world beaters, and I think some people are overreacting to the fact that, you know, he was 4th in the Santa Anita Derby, and then he got beat by Corona Bolt at Keeneland, and then he won that allowance race, but it was all California horses that he beat on Breeders' Cup undercard. And then, you know, Speedboat Beach, I thought he ran a great race by Speedboat Beach. We both loved Speedboat Beach to win that race, and he did exactly what he needed to. I don't see why you would not play him here. He's a horse that when he broke his maiden finally after about 3 or 4 tries. I said on the Magic Mike show I thought he was probably going to be best as a miler, as a sprinter. He's kind of sprinting. It's 1 turn and it's an 8 furlong distance. If he breaks cleanly and is in that top flight, I really don't see who's going to beat him here.
So yeah, you kind of laid out a couple of things that why I landed on him, and the number one thing is I don't really like this field. I'm not like a Hijazi is a beast person at all. But you just kind of look at this and it's like, yeah, I don't really like a lot of these horses. You know, that being said, yeah, I'm a little bit scared of the 8. I am a little bit scared of the 12. Like, I'm not trying to disrespect the other horses in the field. If you have horses that you're playing instead of Hijazi, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world to do. I just kind of looked at it as Hijazi's best race. He probably should get out ahead of most of the field that's dangerous and be able to hold him off. And I also look and like, I think a lot of it is, what do you think of Speedboat Beach? I think he's very good, right? And Hijazi was there with him. If you don't think Speedboat Beach is very good, all of a sudden these other horses do come a lot more likely to win.
Curtis saying based on the will pays that Hijazi's projected odds are more like 3-2. Now he's coming down. Now he's 6-5. This is what I thought would happen. We're 3 minutes to post, and now the money's coming in. People are seeing what we're seeing with Hijazi. Like that shouldn't be that high. So even money I think is maybe 4-5 was what I thought he would be going for. I want to go back here. Just to this outside is going to be the number 2 Expressman. Chris in the chat saying he's going to take a shot. And I said, hey, tell us why. And I thought he laid out a good reason. He said, be on the pace, had a solid finish in the Grade 1 Carter at Aqueduct. And that was a little while ago, but again, it's not a group of world beaters. If he could replicate something like that, I think Expressman, especially at 21-1, should outrun those odds in this spot. What did you think about Expressman?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Chris, I looked at Expressman for a long time in this race, and he kind of was one where I was like, yeah, I think that might be one I really look hard at. And at the end of the day, I don't know. I just don't fully trust him. But look, at 23-1, take a shot with him. I do think he fits. Like, I don't think he should be 23-1. I don't think he's completely over his head. He's just kind of a horse that has been a little disappointing since that debut effort. it's not really his fault. That number got way inflated and people's expectations got very high. He probably never was that type of horse is what he was on paper after that race. I couldn't end up pulling the trigger on him, but I don't think it's dumb to think that Expressman's got a shot at this price. I think that where he sits in the race is going to be the key to the whole thing.
If you watch the Dudes Who Bet Daily show every Thursday through Sunday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, if you're not watching it, you really need to start. The Magic Dudes Who Bet Daily factor in full effect. Just a touch is 1-9 at Fairgrounds to win his debut. So apparently we're not the only ones that thought that was probably a surefire winner today.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound like it. I think that was my horse I labeled most likely winner at Fairgrounds on the card today. So yeah, 1-9. That's, hey, listen, that'll come up, right? For sure.
Feardale Roman's car ramrod says, I always do when I'm at the buffet line. Cyclone Mischief, the 4-horse. He's got Frankie Dettori. It's Dale Romans' horse in here. This is the time you take a Roman's horse, I think. Is that kind of a price? He's proven at Gulfstream Park. I don't think he's good enough to win. I think it's going to take an extremely high effort from him to get up there. But Giant Game Scratch, that was the other Roman's horse, and actually had Romans' jockey Martin Garcia on. Frankie Dettori still doesn't have a win today. Maybe this is the horse that can really just rock the apple cart.
Look, I don't think he's the worst play either. And I think you're going to probably sitting here and you're saying, well, this guy didn't think anything's the worst play. But here's why I say this. I'm all over Hijazi, right? If I've got him overrated, if he doesn't run very well, if he gets beat, there are a long list of horses that are average in this race, I would call them. But at one time or another, at one point, maybe it's one race or one move in a race, you can look at them when you watch replays and go, I think that horse has a little bit of talent. And Cyclone Mischief is another one. You got to go through all of his races, and most of them you go, he sucks. But sometimes that horse will run a race and you go, yeah, that's okay. Like, that could win here. So I've never seen a race quite like this where there's almost every one of them kind of has that. But again, I think Hijazi has it more than the rest of them, if that makes sense. But I would not be shocked if Cyclone Mischief runs really well here.
Kevin B says it's Tumbarumba time, going with the 11 horse, and one big factor in Tumbarumba's favor is the connections, right? Brian Lynch with jockey Luis Saez aboard. 7 of 14 mounts have won. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's literally a coin flip. You're saying at a coin flip, this horse that's now 8-1 could win or not. That's pretty good odds right there on that one. Curtis is right. Hijazi losing is going to blow up a lot of multi-race pools. I went 112. My pick 5 is still alive, but I went deep in the first 2 legs. I think kind of wisely with how those races played out. Pretty short, these last 3 ones, and I'm 112 here. We haven't talked about Signator. He's 11-1. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to mention the 11 Tumbarumba. I was actually there when he finished third by a head in the Oklahoma Derby. I thought, okay, he's really starting to come on. He won a stakes at Ellis, and he came up here and ran third, and I was just a head bob one way or the other. He almost won the thing. Then he lost a Louisiana-bred stakes race. So it's like, I don't know. But look, he's got a shot here. I get it. So Signator, to me, I'm with you. This was my second horse on the ticket. I went too deep as well. And look, I just think the cutback is going to be good. We saw a nice cutback win at Belmont at the Big A, 3 back and at a mile. He ran very well again in an allowance. I don't know. I just really feel like this is a horse that's coming on, and he's another one. At times you watch his replays and you go, yeah, he's ran races that make me think if he runs a big race here, I'm not going to be shocked.
And yeah, Javier Castellano aboard, and another reason I like the horse is with Castellano aboard, you've seen a lot of the magic that guy can cast on these big days and these big races. So all the reasons you mentioned why I like it, 2 wins in 1 turn dirt miles, and it's a classic Shug horse. He gets brought along carefully. They don't overcommit. First time he ever tried stakes was last time out, and this is a $1.7 million purchase. So you know that the West Point Thoroughbreds folks would love to recoup some of that money. This feels like a good spot, and he's set up for a big 4-year-old year. But Hijazi now down to even money. Now things are starting to make more sense to me now. When he was 9-5 5 minutes ago, I didn't understand. Even money now, 4-5 off, probably the way things are trending.
Yeah, I had accepted that he would be even money. So this, like you said, it makes a lot more sense. And, if he drops down any lower, you'd be surprised. If he comes up any higher, you'd be surprised type of thing now. I think that's about right. And look, again, I just think it's going to be very interesting. I think, with him and Expressman breaking side by side, if one of them bobbles just a bit at the break, the other one might really be screwed. Like, the break's going to mean a lot here with those two speed horses side by side. And I think that's going to be the key. I think the one is a little faster than the two, but we'll see what happens here. And I think the one thing about Hijazi, I do think if the two goes crazy out in front of him, he can kind of sit the pocket trip like he did 2 races back, sit about a half length off, and then go get him. So if he breaks well, he should project to get a pretty good trip.
And another feather in Hijazi's cap, the horse that he beat last time, or I should say 2 back in that allowance race, Ghost of Midnight, has won 3 straight, including Aaron's best bet on Dudes Who Bet Daily yesterday. So you got that going for him as well. The number 3, I'm not sure we talked too much about Steel Sunshine, but we can, while they still circle here, we can refer to that. This is one I feel like is getting overbet based on his form, and by that I mean, yeah, he has 4 wins on the dirt at Gulfstream Park going 8 or 7 furlongs, and a few of those were stakes. But something like Somich taught me a long time ago, Aaron, is it's a lot different, the championship meet, which we're in right now at Gulfstream, versus Gulfstream when it's May or July or October, which is when he got all of those wins. The last time he was in a championship meet at Gulfstream Park, it was the mile and the 16th. I know it's 2 turns, but mile and 16th Harlan's Holiday, and he was 4th. He wasn't that close to the top 3 by the end of it there. So I feel like I understand people say he does well at the track. My counter is that he does well at this track when lesser horses are here, and I'm not sure that there's really I think there's too much in here for him to compete.
I think you said it pretty well. I'm not very interested in the 3 Steel Sunshine. I know a lot of people are, though, and again, I don't ever take that like I think you're dumb or anything. It's just with this difference of opinions, and I just couldn't get there with him. I didn't see the appeal, and we'll see. Maybe I could be dead wrong here. When the gates open, it can make a fool out of anybody. But I'm kind of with you. I think he's getting a little bit overbet in this situation. He didn't run all that bad last time out on the Harlan Holiday. If you liked the Harlan Holiday, if you really like O'Connor and Grand Aspen, that definitely elevates him. I'm not huge on either one of those horses, so hence I'm not huge on Steel Sunshine.
Hence isn't in this race. He's retired. I was cocking my head because there's a big typing error. They think it's the Fred Hopper.
What?
It is I was like, it's the Hooper, right?
Oh my gosh.
It's Fred W. Hopper. All right. Well, who knows who's going to win the Hopper? I don't know who's winning the Hopper. Hijazi's winning the Hooper, but we got 2 more horses going in. Let us know who you're going to be watching, who you're betting in this spot. Hijazi, he's still even money right now.
There you go. I mean,
11's in, just waiting on the 12.
We'll see what the break is, and like I said, we'll know real quick if we could just turn the page or what. So
yeah, we'll just start talking about Oaklawn again, or cover the Interborough is going to be running pretty soon at Aqueduct, right? We can cover that one.
There you go.
All right, they're off. Good break from Hijazi.
Yeah, good break from Hijazi for sure. At least it looks.
Yeah.
And Expressman looks like he got out there good too.
Yep.
So.
And that's how it's going to be. Expressman, Hijazi's going to let him go. Pratt's going to let Expressman go. Great navigator. Tumbarumba also up there, but Hijazi very close in behind. Great position there. If you like a creative, Aaron, and neither of us do, but he's right in the position he needs to be as well. 23.5 for the opening quarter.
Yeah, it looks like now Expressman going to try to get away from those 2 to the outside. Hijazi's going to kind of just go up the rail here. He's got the rail. He's got the shortest way around the track. They went 23 and change for a mile. That's not really flying over this dirt course.
I'm surprised that Expressman. Yeah, Hijazi was allowed to just sneak right up the rail like that, and he's already pulling away from most of the field.
Yeah, Tumbarumba, if you like him, he's starting to make a little bit of a move.
Castle Chaos is going to go about 4 wide. Hijazi is still in hand, and now he's going to leave Expressman behind. Tumbarumba's still looming pretty good there.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a little bit of a fight. Nope.
Tumbarumba to the whip, and he's not responding.
Yeah, Tumbarumba ranged up and then said, no thanks. Let's see if anybody can come get Hijazi here.
Perfect lead change for Hijazi. Just don't cough this up. There you go. Tumbarumba did us a favor there, bumping into Castle Chaos. Getting a little leg weary, Hijazi.
Yeah, Hijazi's not exactly...
Come on, hold on, Hijazi. No! He got caught. The 7's going to win it. Oh, no, I think Tumbarumba got it.
11.
That was a good finish there.
Oh, that's close. I'm not sure. I think the 11.
They're showing Tumbarumba.
You talk about a horse in Hijazi who stopped the final 16th because Tumbarumba was spinning his wheels and they went and got him. Oh, wow. What a race.
Hijazi dropped anchor hard. God, he can't even get a mile. Yeah, I'm going to say it's 11-7-3.
11-7-3. Yep. Wow. Man.
Cyclone Mischief last across. Sorry, Cyclone.
That was...
You think this is the race that makes Dennis Alba finally stop sending horses to Dale Romans?
No.
Wow.
Man, oh man. That was like three different things. It's like Hijazi's gone. Hijazi's stopping, but he's still going to win. Hijazi totally throws the anchor, and now it's anybody's game. That's basically what happened in a matter of about 10 seconds. That was fun.
Yeah, somebody said, Kevin said, well, no, within 20 seconds into the race, Hijazi's fate. We thought he was winning until the last, 10.
I mean, really, yeah, Hijazi absolutely perfect trip. Like, he has no excuse there.
Mike Somich liked Tumbarumba. That killed my pick 5, but Mike Somich did like Tumbarumba in this spot.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a real shame that Bob lost that one, too. Real shame.
Man, I got to tell you, that was... now we've got an objection, by the way.
Well, if Hijazi had finished third, I'd say DQ them both, but he let Steel Sunshine beat him too.
If you were listening to Magic, you said during that race, Tumbarumba just did us a favor. He just crashed into the 7 because when we were thinking Hijazi was going to hold him up. So hold everything because there could be something to this. I don't know. It's definitely I don't think it's like that first objection today where that was just nuts. I think something may be to this, but we'll see.
Yeah.
You
no
can't
inquiry for the stewards, but that's interesting.
Well, you just never know, right? But you can't really make an objection until you a decision until you see here. So we'll see what happens. But man, how disappointing from the 8 and the 12. Nothing from those horses.
7.
If that's
is it just
all
that
it is,
1 point of contact?
If that's all it is, this is fine.
Yeah.
He's going to come out again.
No contact, though. Still no contact. I
don't think that's coming down. No.
It's right here. The 7 comes in. They both were kind of moving into the same space there, and then both went back.
Yeah.
Kevin says, take the 7 and the 11 and throw the 3 in for good measure to give the 1 the win.
This isn't Santa Anita. By the way, your horse at Gulfstream, they're at the top of the stretch.
The
and
fairgrounds?
The 4 has taken over, and I think the 6 is going to be chasing home, but it looks like the 4 is going to get you a win here at Gulfstream. Or at
1-2.
Yep. 4-2.
Nice.
4-7?
Holy smokes, that horse is flying.
Yep. Great race.
Claim of foul is not allowed. No change.
No. Yep. That makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense. Yeah.
All right. So, unlike Hijazi, Just a Touch got to the top of the stretch and took off.
Well, yeah, Just a Touch did exactly what Hijazi did and then finished the race. Good win there, Magic. Good way to kick off the Daily Show today. Good job.
1-2. So that the $5 pays back 1/8 of the late pick 5 that I just lost because of Tumbarumba.
Yeah, that was nice. Pete, I noticed this. Pete said this, and I wasn't looking. Now I saw the second quarter of that race went extremely fast. So if you do look back at that now, I said, Jazzy, no excuse. They did really speed up. That could have cost him the race.
That's my boy. We're talking about Gulfstream, and there's Joe. Yeah, Joe's my biggest supporter on the Best Bets page, and I greatly appreciate it.
That's right. We appreciate it too.
Was that Andy buying Cone? Who just went by? No, she wouldn't be helping Brian Lynch. Where is she, by the way? Shouldn't she be covering this instead of Samantha Perry?
I don't really have a beat on where Andy being Cone is, Magic. I hate to disappoint. I'm not sure.
I mean, she's no Acacia.
No.
Seriously, where's Andy at?
I don't know. You would think.
I just realized. I was like, it's a big day.
I don't think she's been at Gulfstream from what I saw this year. I don't know though. I don't watch this stuff, so I'm not sure.
Well,
I just watch the track feed.
Oh yeah, no, she's there. She was reporting. Maybe she's working exclusive. Oh, she's working for FanDuel and not for Gulfstream.
So,
that's why.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
She is there. Okay, I got nervous.
I never turn on FanDuel, so that would explain why I don't see her. She does a good job though. I'm not mouthing her.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. I got to loosely work with her a bit at the Breeders' Cup too. So yeah, she's really great. I almost she has the famous the riding cap with the camera on it. And it was just sitting there one morning at the Breeders' Cup in the trailer, and I looked at it, and there's nobody around, and I've got my backpack, and I was like, I could have some real fun with this if I didn't ever want to work in horse racing again.
Well, okay, let's back up because I wouldn't have cared, so you could still have a job. You could do it next time, Magic.
That's true. All right, next time. Now that I've said it, they'll never let me. Somebody's going to put out a restraining order. She's not here. She's not here.
Yeah.
She took the kid. She took the kid and left to the park.
Well, that's another discussion. But
it's funny. So we talked about the Fairgrounds race. Louisiana bred for Tumbarumba, and I guess if you, hindsight being 2020, if you wanted to make a case for Tumbarumba having lost that Fairgrounds Louisiana bred stakes, one is a 2 turns. 2, it was a 4-horse race won by a gate to wire winner. So
yeah.
Again, hindsight's 2020, but what are you gonna do?
Look, I was too hard on him, and I still probably wouldn't pick him if they ran it again. It was just one of those things. He won though, and you got to give him credit. And sometimes they don't come in how you see them. More often than not, that's the case. So, look, he took advantage of his position. I thought he had a great position. I thought he fought it as hard as he could fight it, and Ajazi came back to him enough to get it done.
Shoddy and Davey and Pedlo were all there with you for the Oklahoma Derby. So.
Yeah.
Here you go. Points for horses, Aaron. Hey, Marion. Points for horses, Aaron has seen race before. Let's talk about this because I just looked at it too and went, wow, Integration opens as your even money favorite. Warm Heart, 2-1. Noah says thoughts on Integration being shorter than Warm Heart in the Tropical Pick 3 and opening as the favorite. Are you surprised?
Shocked. I was ready to see 3-5, 4-5 on Warm Heart. And again, I'll say the same thing I did when we saw Hijazi up there at 8-5 and 9-5. Like, it's interesting. It's definitely surprising. I'm not really panicked or anything like that, but at the same time, that's very, very interesting to me.
Officially, Husker Butch 7th, beaten only 5 3/4 lengths.
Nice.
His off odds were 58-1. That's pretty good. 2 claims out of that race. Neither of them are Husker Butch.
Yeah, that's sad.
Diodoro did claim. He claimed the horse that finished 11th. So bet him back a roller coaster ride. Yeah. And then Forever Cool. 2 horses that finished behind Husker Butch got claimed out of there.
Wow.
I say you're running for 50 next time. People are going to be all over him.
I say probably 10, but we'll see.
When does Prairie Meadows start back up?
Oh, not till May. So.
Oh.
It's a long winter. Look, this is, and again, I'm really shocked. I'm looking at all these Noah after he brought it up, I started clicking on him. It is really shocking. And again, I'm not, that is not a knock on integration at all. I've been on record all week saying I absolutely love Warm Heart, but the 3 does scare me. But I still can't believe the 3 is getting pounded like this. That's crazy.
Kevin says bring Husker Butch to Saratoga this summer. Not to run, but bring him to hang out.
He's kind of a fun hang. He has fun.
He's better than standalone Dennis.
He's not a fun hang. Yeah, he was horrible. Yeah. So everybody, this is crazy. Like I'm watching this Gulfstream feed. Everybody's picking the 3. The racing forum's picking the 5. Like some of these people don't even have the 9 mentioned. So I don't know. What am I missing, Magic?
I'm the wrong person to ask because I'm as big on Warm Heart as you are. I think if you look at any of her last 3 races, including she went to Hong Kong and raced against the boys and ran a really respectable 3rd in their biggest race of the year for those horses. Yeah, she brings that effort. They're all running for 2nd. Integration undefeated. Like Signator, you talked about wanting to, a sugar horse that gets brought along well and slowly, but Integration's never faced older horses. He's never faced graded stakes company. There's some heavy hitters in here that they might not win, but Masterpiece always shows up with a good effort. Webslinger always shows up with a good effort. Atone won this race last year. King Max almost won the prep for this, that main event won. So this isn't a bunch of 3-year-olds in November at Aqueduct. These are the big boys and the big girl.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm with you on that. And yeah, look, the integration love is, like I said, it's totally understandable. He's been fantastic. There's no doubt about it. But again, it's kind of strange to think that he is this heavily favored over Warm Heart. I mean, very, very surprising to me. I see people talking about maybe she doesn't want the distance. It is the shortest she's ran for a while anyway, but it seems like if she's got the greatest trainer in the world, right? It just, to me, it kind of seems like, why would you even run her here if you didn't think she could go 1 1/8? Like, I look at the form and go, yeah, she's probably better going longer, but at the same time, it's like, I still think she'll run a pretty good race over this, right? I don't know. It definitely could be wrong, but it's very shocking to me. And look, I could be totally wrong, but 2-1 is a great price.
It is. She also, I know this is shorter than the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf, but she had the lead, and Inspirol came and got her. Like you could say that if that race was at this distance, she wins that race based off of how that played out. So, not sure. Somich is here. Somich, I can't remember. Are you alive in the pick 5? I know that you had Tumbarumba, and that was big for you. And he's saying, let's get this 9 home. So I believe he used Olivia Darling as well. I don't remember exactly, but I think he did. So he's looking for that one. Yeah, let's talk about Kingman. This was my second choice in this race. When I saw the field, I immediately texted the Discord and I said, it's going to be Warm Heart, King Max, Webslinger. There's your trifecta for it. And I stand by it. I thought King Max ran a very respectable second in the Fort Lauderdale, almost won it. And he had some good races last summer. It was at Monmouth Park, but he was looking solid. The synthetic at Woodbine wasn't to his liking. Second off the layoff, and they bring him here. And David Egan is the first call rider for AMO Racing, who owns the horse. Egan usually rides overseas, but came here this winter to get some more racing experience against the big boys in the Colony at Gulfstream Park. So I have him second. What do you think about Kingman?
Yeah, I didn't love him, to be completely honest in here. I don't think, honestly, for me, like once you got behind the 9 and the 3, it became pretty wide open. I did like the last race last time out. I think we're building up to this one. But look, it's not one I really considered on top. I would use underneath, but I still have like Webslinger. I had rated a little bit higher than King Max in this race. Main event, I have rated pretty highly in this race over King Max. So I couldn't get there with him.
Somich says he is alive. He's single to Warm Heart here, and then he's got 4 in the Pegasus World Cup, the 2, 5, 8, 9. So Somich looking for that. He needs a Warm Heart just as badly as you and I do, Aaron, and a lot of people here. Joe making a point on Warm Heart says, I think she's a very good grinder, but she lacks that turn of foot that Integration has. And I also think this race feels like an afterthought since she's going to be bred immediately afterward. Yeah, she is. This is her final career start. But my counter to that, and I don't usually like it's their last race before they retire, so they're not going to try. If they wanted, she is a world-class horse. She is they think of her as a potential blue hen mare with what their breeding plans are. If they thought that was the case for her, they wouldn't risk her in a spot they're not going to sell her. So this doesn't do anything for her from a a selling standpoint. What do you think about it when someone says, because, and I'm not targeting you, Joe, this is something that gets said all the time about horses retiring. What do you feel about that kind of situation?
No, it doesn't bother me one way or the other. I mean, you'll see it go through a stretch where it's like, it was her last race. She didn't run very well. And then the next race, somebody's retired and they win, I mean, and this day has kind of had a lot of horses win that were going off to the breeding shed. Right. So now if she was like on like a Thursday, she shows up in a race somewhere just to get one more, you're a little bit more worried, but I don't think that's going to be a big factor. I think she'll show up with her normal effort, or at least they think she's going to show up with her normal effort. So I don't really mind that in these kind of situations. As far as, who's got the better turn of foot, you might be right. Like Integration might be a little sharper, but I also think Warm Heart has got a pretty good turn of foot, and I think she's going to be a little bit more forwardly placed. And I think that's going to be a big key here. And the other big key for me when I was trying to separate Integration and Warm Heart, this Warm Heart, she has faced the best. Integration has not. And I think this is even if Warm Heart wasn't in the race, I would sit here and go, I don't know that Integration, he's really kind of got to prove to me today. This is more of a proving ground to me for him today. This is a big step up for him. Now, I still probably would have landed on him on top, but I would have those concerns. I really have those concerns when a horse like Warm Heart is here. And finally, Ryan Moore is here. And we've seen him ride these other horses. He did not come for these other ones. He hasn't had a live mount yet. Him coming over here, I just don't think he's wasting his time. Now, maybe she doesn't fire, but I don't think the connections are entering her in the race thinking she's not going to run well or not run her best. So all those things, that's why I went with Warm Heart. And again, I do respect the Integration love. I am pretty scared of this horse. If Warm Heart runs second to Integration, I am going to sit here like, I knew that horse was good enough to do it. At the end of the day, I just think Warm Heart is a better horse than Integration.
Another horse that I picked to win this race last year and just did not do very well was Masterpiece, and he's now, so you see on the screen it says S. Dutrow, that's Sidney Dutrow, or Chip, which is Rick Dutrow's brother. Rick Dutrow has had Masterpiece for a bit now, and he doesn't have a Florida trainer's license. He just got reinstated last summer, so he doesn't have the Florida trainer's license, and the Gulfstream Park officials said, we talked to Rick. It was going to take too long for him to fill out the paperwork. He was willing to do it, but the process of filling it out, going through, getting it approved and all that, it was just going to be too much to worry about there being any hiccups in preventing the horse from running. So they said this was the best move. We'll just send it over to Chip. This is a Dutrow horse. Don't confuse yourself with the name on, even though it's Sidney Dutrow, this is still going to be a Dutrow horse. He's one, I think, at 22-1. If you wanted a double-digit odd horse outside of Integration, outside of Warm Heart, this is one I think you need to be worried about as well.
I think that's a good point. I'll say this. I think he makes a ton of sense as like the third horse you want to play, or if him or Webslinger really for me. Also, and this is really not a knock on Masterpiece or his connections really, but him winning would be very disappointing. And what I mean by that is if the 3 doesn't win the race, I think it's disappointing. If the 9 doesn't win the race, I think it's disappointing. I'm talking about not your bets right now. I'm talking about, I believe the 3 could be a great horse. So if it comes in 8-3, That's really disappointing to me because it means the 3. I guess the point I'm trying to make is we know these other horses outside the 3 and the 9. We kind of know who they are. They're not bad horses, but they're not the types that are going to rattle off an incredible campaign. Whereas if the 3 wins, yeah, he could be the start. This could be the start of something huge for him. Or if the 9 wins, you go, what a world-class horse, so we got to see one more time, right? So the rest of the horses past the 3 and the 9, we know exactly who they are.
Kevin asking the question I usually ask every time I see Adamo's name in the entry box. Why does Adamo enter these races? Well, he did win a grade 1. It was the United Nations at Monmouth against a bunch of nobodies, but he did win a grade 1. He used to be takeout, free takeout, but not in this case. He's pretty chilly on the board at 29-1.
Yeah, no, and I think, he enters because there are times he'll kind of jump up and do a little something, and it does seem like these horses on the turf, they stick around forever, right? So, he's hit the board in some grade 1 races. You bring him down here, who's to say? Then fall apart, he hits the board again, type of thing,
Let's see. I meant not the football game, the basketball game. There we go. Iowa State and Kansas. We covered it on on Dudes Who Bet Daily. It was what, -3.5 to the Cyclones?
It was 4.5. So
damn
wins,
it!
But does not cover.
When I picked Iowa State, I hadn't looked at the line. I thought 4.5. I was like, man, they'll probably still cover.
And also, bad news, Papa Dude's Bet really struggling as well. He looks like he's going to lose 2 in a row, which that's pretty rare for him. Butler down 8 with about 4 minutes left, so not good.
Silver Charm says that playing a $50 exact to Warm Heart into Web Slinger. I think that one definitely has a good chance to play. Web Slinger, he's one of those horses that when he's facing other American horses at about his talent level, he wins. But when he steps up and he faces the really big dogs in the group, wherever he's at, that's when he starts to struggle a little bit. And he's first time as a 4-year-old. I think this is going to be a tricky spot for him. Wasn't able to get the job done at Del Mar. Lost to program trading, a Chad Brown, Flavian Pratt special. So, I think he's a great underneath horse. I don't see Web Slinger doing enough to win, though.
Kind of my feeling on it as well. We've kind of seen him be a heartbreaker at times against fields that weren't quite as good as this one. Yeah, look, he's an honest horse. You can kind of count on him. Look, if he wins this race, I don't think anybody's going to be sitting in this chat or sitting on the stream right now and go, well, I didn't see that coming in a million years, because we're used to it. We've seen him around. If you bet against him, he might scare you at some point during this race, but I'm with you. I think at the end of the day, he's just not going to get the job done against this type of field.
Alex asking about Tropical Pick 3 Will Pays. Let me see if I can find that. Yes, I've got $3. All right. I don't know how to explain this to the group. Let me see if I can. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to screenshot it and then share the screenshot. We were high on technology.
Love it.
Over here. I don't know how else to do it, so we'll try this. Give me 1 second. I do have the will pays for the Tropical Pick 3, which are paying very, very nice. How did that happen? What is the first race that happened?
I was going to say, I've lost track of the races.
Francesco Clemente into Didia. Into Warm Heart for $3 is paying $161.
Yeah, that's very good.
Here we go. Give me 1 second. I will pull this up. Here we go. There's the will pays for the Tropical Turf Pick 3. Yeah, about 158 into integration, 161 for Warm Heart. Outside of that, just like the odds boards for this race are showing, you pick your poison. You're gonna make a whole bunch of money. Fave paying that much. Now I'm mad I didn't play this bet.
I gotta ask, that's crazy. That's crazy. But when you've got like a large portion of your bankroll on a horse, and that horse is not getting bet anywhere near where that horse you thought in your mind, does that make you excited or does that make you nervous? It should make you excited. It always makes me nervous.
Same. Yeah, I get nervous too, just because it's of what you said. You're trying to figure, that's not what I should not be doing that. Sorry. Sorry. Wrong one to share. 2 minutes to post. That's what I was trying to tell everybody. Yeah, no, it definitely makes me nervous, especially now he's 3-2. We're 2 minutes to post, and this is when the Hijazi money all came in and made me feel better about it until the 16th poll. But yeah, this is. I don't know. I'm hoping it's one of those cases where we just go. Remember, we got 2-1 on Warm Heart.
Like I remember that hour between the last race and the Preakness on Preakness Day, and Mays just never moved, and we just kept talking about it. In the back of my mind, I just kept saying, it never works out when this happens for me. It's like, and he lost. But I also remember like the 40 minutes between the last race and the Breeders' Cup Classic with Nick's Go, and he just hung at 5-2 the whole time. And I'm sitting there going, I mean, I'm thrilled. I've got a ton of money on him, but I know it's not going to come in, and it did. So I have a very uneasy feeling right now. I mean, the flip side of it is I'm sitting here with a ticket that is worth double what I thought it would be worth.
Yeah.
But the bad side of it is it's worth absolutely nothing if it doesn't cash. So it doesn't matter.
I'll make you feel better, Aaron. 8-5 on Integration, 9-5 on Warm Heart. So that's being adjusted. The win pool is being adjusted. Now, every other pool is telling you Integration's the favorite. So either value or trash. Yeah. Which is it going to be?
Yeah. And again, you do definitely. It's like, all right. This is great. Never thought I'd get this price. But the back of your mind is like, yeah, well, I'm not going to get it because this horse isn't going to fire. So I don't know. But look, I'm not backing away from it. It took me all of about 2 seconds to think this is the best horse. And when you do that, then you go back and okay, what did I miss? And it's like, yeah, the 3 looks very good, but I think the 9's better. So, what can you do? It's my strong opinion, and let's play it and hope.
Yeah, I think the break's going to be interesting because Warm Heart likes to be a little closer than mid-pack. She's not a leader, but she likes to be pretty close to within range. Kind of alluding to back what someone else has said. She's more of a grinder. She doesn't have that sharp turn of foot, so she likes to race a little bit. She needs to be more forwardly placed. Integration from the 3-post, he could drop right out of it early, and you would kind of almost expect that. If Integration's not towards the back early, I think that's when I'm going to sit here going, uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm at the point if the 3 wins and the 9 runs second, I go, hey, I get it.
And then you have the Mike Somich recommendation, which just bet more. What could go wrong?
Well, look, I'm sitting here and like Ron says, I guess it matters how much you still like the horse. I love the horse.
Yeah.
So in my situation, that's probably what you should do. But I've got a lot bet already. Number 1 and number 2, it's just like, somebody's telling me something here, but man, this is going to be sweet if she wins it. But if she doesn't, it's racing. You just move on. Next race. That's how you got to look at it, guys. I mean, really.
Yeah.
And you tip your cap to whoever beats her. So.
No shot at Kendrick Carmouche, but Tyler Gaffalione is a big upgrade over him here.
Yeah.
Mike says bet enough to get Husker Butch a friend.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think Ron's point is correct. I mean, they're not robots. She's been running a lot. She might want more ground. My counter to that, though, is if you think she's the best in here and she's 2-1, you know what I mean? Like, she's probably worth it at 2-1.
Yeah, Kendrick won 4 at Aqueduct, but it's a 2-jockey race right now when Lizcano was down here. It's him and Manny Franco deciding who's going to win this race.
Hey, wins.
Yeah, you got 4. A win, that's true. We say that a lot with the Dudes Who Bet Daily things when they come in that close at 1-5. Like, hey, a win's a win.
I'll tell you right now, I'll take the nose win by the 9 right now and be very happy for the rest of the day. So
yes, full agree there. Noah's been talking about Jerry the Nipper. Says look for Jerry to run big after taking a big hit on the backstretch last time out. Cheryl Spite to run big after becoming 100% healthy. That's a horse we haven't talked about. I think Cheryl Spite is another one. If this was a mile, has a better chance than this being a mile in an 8th race, but is a Grade 1 winner.
Yeah. No, I don't have any problem if you're going to play Jerry the Nipper. in some underneath positions, or just gonna, hey, I'll take a flyer here. He makes sense. He's been a horse that's at times can jump up and run those kind of races.
All right, they're on the turf, about to go in the gate. Tell us who your bets are. JL using Jerry as the money back special here. No surprise, Aaron and I are both on Warm Heart. Mike doesn't like the Dylan Davis slander. Sorry. What do you want me to say? 8-5 on integration, 2-1 back up for Warm Heart. This is, I had a lot riding on Hijazi and that busted my pick 5. I am much more nervous about this race with just a win bet left on Warm Heart. I'd be single to Warm Heart here in that pick 5, but yeah, Masterpiece price is surprising. I wonder how much of that is the general public not understanding that the trainer change isn't a trainer change.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Horse runs clunkers and then he runs a big one, then runs a clunker and runs a big one. Somich playing a try 9/3 over 6/8. Sorry.
I will say this: win or lose, I feel great about the wager.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to have to take a much less price. If the horse runs like shit, if the horse isn't good enough, all the stuff that we've kind of talked about. Well, hey, my opinion was wrong, but a win wager on the 9 is a smart wager from a betting standpoint, right? It's never smart unless they win, right? But before they come out of the gates, you're getting a good enough price. So
if Warm Heart wins the Filly and Mare Turf by a nose instead of losing it by a nose to Inspiral, better odds in this case then, right? She's the favorite then?
I would think, yeah.
So she's a nose away from one of the top Filly and Mare Turfers from last year. All right. Catnip, the last one in. Here we go, Aaron. Good luck to everybody. Clean break from everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Integration is second right now.
Yeah, that's not great.
He broke very sharply. Jerry, a big break. The 11 main event, gunning for the lead as you expected, won the Fort Lauderdale Gate to Wire. Warm Heart's third. That's the perfect spot for her. Yeah. Catbird seat right behind the leader. What is DeTore doing on this 12 horse?
I don't know.
Okay.
If you like the 9 or the 3, they're in great spots. So, no stress early on.
Integration, a lot close. Now, some closers have to be closers because they just have that one big burst, and if they run a lot closer early, it doesn't have that. I'm not saying it's going to happen here with the 3 integration, but this is closer than he usually likes to run.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin, your 9-2 exact is looking pretty good right now. Fractions, 23-2, 46-4. They're moving. This is not a slow race.
No, I think these 2 should back up, and then the 9 is sitting right there in the catbird seat, and we shall see if the 3 can kind of get going here. 12's in a good spot.
Where's Warm Heart gonna go here? Does he try and go? I think this is the right move, is follow the leader and then try and split them off the turn, or take a rail move if she can get it, like in the Breeders' Cup.
She doesn't have
He's sniffing for that rail. Get up there, Warm Heart. Get up there, Warm Heart. There she goes. Go, girl. Come on. Come on. Go. 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 Go and get it. Woo! Aaron, if we were together, this wouldn't have been a Breeders' Cup Classic Knicks Go moment. You would have been in my arms 3 feet up in the air on that one. High five, buddy. High five.
That felt good. Yeah, that really felt good. Congrats, Somich. Now we really got something to root for with you as well. The Bible is now very, very, very profitable no matter what. So that felt good. It felt really good.
Who got the 4? I'm very busy. Got second.
Yep.
And the 12, which we were going, what the hell is DeTore doing? Was right there in the photo and ends up third. Wow. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Shoddy scared me. I thought you meant a horse. Aaron's injured. Be careful with Aaron. Oh, hey, remember that time we got 2-1 on Warm Heart?
I just can't believe it. I cannot believe. I thought 3-5, 4-5 all week. and our shows on Thursday, everybody was like, yeah, you like Warm Heart, but it's going to be 3 to 5, 4 to 5. 2 to 1. I just can't believe we got 2 to 1. I just can't. So, congratulations to Warm Heart. What a way to go out. Very good race. And god damn, I thought Irad was going to get her late. I mean, that got close.
So that if you don't remember the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf, that's almost exactly the same ride that Ryan Moore gave her in that race. And she went up the rail, and it was like, oh shit, she's going to break free here.
Man. I was scared the whole race. I am smiling from ear to ear, and I'm sorry if you did back somebody else. I shouldn't just be sitting here gloating. I'm not gloating. I'm just really, really surprised that we just got that. Really surprised.
So, track record time, not stakes record, track record time for Warm Heart.
Wow.
Beating out English Channel, RIP, one of the great turf stallions of the last 20 years. So the Super and the Tri are going to pay incredible. It went 9-4, 12-1. That's a tone that the defending champion got up there for fourth. That's 2 to 1 over 14 to 1 over 46 to 1 over 34 to 1. If you had that superfecta, wow, you might you might have enough money to buy Husker Butch from his next start.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. I mean, man, incredible. Incredible. People are texting me like crazy.
I hear your phone blowing up too. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, I had a huge win wager, and we talked about it. And
yep.
So everybody's super pumped right now, but that's just one of those rare instances where you are 99% sure you're going to have to choke down a short price and you didn't have to. And that is a really, really good feeling in racing, because it's usually the other way around.
Integration, not going to poo-poo him, because I didn't watch him enough to know. I had my eyes glued to the 9 every step.
Yeah.
He gets 5th at 6 to 5. I want to rewatch that trip and see what happened, because he backed off on the backstretch, and I thought that was the smart move for Gaffalione to give him some more running room to go after horses late, but maybe that didn't end up. Well, obviously it didn't end up working for him. Though,
yeah, I'll be honest.
He got 5th at 6 to 5 behind a track record setter.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I did not watch him a second of the race because I was glued on the 9. But certainly I'll have to watch it back. Maybe he got in some traffic trouble, or maybe he just didn't kick. Maybe he was sitting a little too close today, something like that too. So I don't really know. I can't really comment on it because I was locked on that 9, just trying to beg that 9 to get home.
Gridiron King says maybe they should have had Kendrick Carmouche on him. I mean, Carmouche has got 4 more wins today than Tyler Gaffalione. Sorry, I love Tyler. I shouldn't say that.
Up the backside, I thought he was sitting in a good spot. But again, when the real running began, I just focused on the 9. And the only way I see the 3 if he's making a run. And obviously he didn't. But again, I can't comment on what happened. I didn't. We'll see.
Alex has got a great comment here. I believe she was watching Integration closely. She said Integration got shuffled way back early in the stretch run and then closed well. So again, why I want to watch that and see what happens. You should get better than 6 to 5 on him. Well, it depends on where he goes. I'd assume another grade 1 is where he goes. So
yeah, I agree.
Look at that Super. 10 cents, $1,731.
I mean,
so
with my at least most likely winner on the whole card on top. Of course, I had nothing underneath. So
Kevin B says, I was ready to curse Ryan Moore out when I saw how close he was to a fast pace, but that's why he's Ryan Moore and I'm on the couch. Listen, again, like I said this before they went into the gate, that's her style, is to be a little more closely paced. And I apologize, whoever you were that said it so well. She is more of a grinder. He put her in the right spot. When they were going in that far turn, I was saying, I don't know if he's going to try and tip out or if he's... And then all of a sudden I saw him tap the brakes slightly halfway through the turn. And I said, he's sniffing for that rail. He wants that rail to open up. And God bless Javier Castellano on main event. He let that rail open it got tight. It wasn't a big opening, but there was just enough room for Warm Heart. And how brave of a horse. We talk about this. It takes a champion horse to have the nerve to go inside of other horses, up the rail at full speed in a very tight window. Like, we all know how tight that window is from watching. Imagine being that horse or that jockey threading the needle like that. It takes a real champion to do something like that she did. So hats off to her. And 4 years from now, the Justify baby that she's going to go off and make right now, look the F out.
Magic, this horse paid $680.
Oh my God. How much did we... Okay, so let's talk about the Bible. I want to give a credit to you and to Jared Welch. Jared, up to this point, had not hit a bet. It just was that kind of a day for him. But he was just as strong on Warm Heart as you were, and you both nailed it. So between the two guys, if you played their recommended wager, you had $165 on this horse to win. You just got back $561. One race is all it takes in this game, and that's why horse racing can be frustrating but also very rewarding when you're right. You can have a rough day like Jared did, 11 races not hit. The 12th race, you make it all back and then some, and you're sitting, instead of eating McDonald's and drinking Diet Coke during the Royal Rumble, it's filet mignons and Dom Perignon tonight, baby.
Yeah, Heather's in for a long night, Magic.
Yeah, she is. Oh! Come on. Well, Aaron is broken. Let's welcome him in. He's been here, and I love that you showed up right when the race was over. Good friend of ours, Nick Sievers. Nick, you made it. I know you had kids' soccer games to go to. That is more important. Jared's not here because it's his son's birthday party today. But Nick, boy, what did you think about Warm Hearts? And tell me you were able to watch it.
I watched it. I was here. I moved the double on the 3 to the 8. So we watched it real time as I moved it from $21 to $17. I had a $6,000 double or $7,000 double on the 3 to the 8. And, I feel great right now. I'm glad Jared hit. Glad Aaron hit. No, I thought that she wasn't going to be as good. I thought that the way the track had been playing, that coming from back was going to be tough. And I thought that I would beat her and be clever. And, here I am without any money. So that was fun.
I'm sorry, Nick.
It's all right.
I'm surprised you showed up, honestly. I would not have blamed you if you're like, I'm just going to, no, F this.
By the way, I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at how you're saying it. It's just kind of like, yeah, we've all been there as gamblers. That was a lot of fun.
What are you going to do? My biggest opinion was the 3 in that race. I didn't like, what's his name? The 8. First Mission. I don't love First Mission, but I think First Mission is your most likely winner in the Pegasus. So I played the bet that was going to get me to 60,000, which in theory would win me the contest. I was wrong. It happens, right? I'm not telling my wife I bet $7,000 on it, but I'll tell you guys. You guys understand. She maybe not so much.
Classic gambler. The amount you bet's already gone up as you've told the story too. At first it was 6 and now it's 7.
So I had 7,900 left, and I did a 3 to the 245 for like $300 because it was also getting me to that number that was just close enough to be at 60. That it's a $5,000 buy-in plus 1,000, so it was a $5,000 one. I was shooting for 60, and I was alive to my best opinion of the day of what was left. So you can't shake it off and say, all right, good enough. Like if I were playing something I didn't like or some horses I wasn't a fan of, then it's like, oh well, that's dumb. I should have just bet on Warm Heart. She was paid $5. What are you doing? But I played what I wanted, and I played what I thought was right, and you lose. This game, if you won every time, it'd be like betting football or something.
Kevin says, "I'm sorry, Nick. Unfortunately, I already told your wife. I wasn't aware it was a secret and tagged her in a tweet. My apologies." We're all married men here. JL, you only tell the wife about the winners. That's the only gambling rule you need. The problem is, and you guys can speak to this or not, my wife is too smart. She learned. I tell her how much I'll say this is how much I made on a race or how much I won, and she says, but how are you for the day? There's a reason I didn't say today I made this amount. It's on this race I made this amount. Stop asking smart questions.
Though, to kind of echo what you said there, Nick, I hope people listen to that because that's just it. And we kind of said it right before you jumped on here. Warm Heart was going to the gate, and my opinion was Warm Heart. And I said look, win or lose, I'm getting the price I want. Look, hey, I'm happy. If she loses, my opinion was wrong, but I got to play it. Like that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have opinions and play them, and you either win or lose. So what do? You just move on if you lose, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and especially with that one where you're getting 2-1. I mean, she was 9-5 on the morning line and went up, right?
Yep.
You expect her to come down. That's why I was kind of against her. It was like, I thought I was going to get 6-5 on her. Had I really paid attention, I should have been, hedging both of them. Probably couldn't get to 60 that way, but you pick one and you kind of make the choice. I mean, playing a contest is going to be different than playing in real life. But in real life, I would have played the 3 and the 9 to the 8. And, maybe the 7 also, and maybe a couple other ones here or there, and maybe spread too much, and the EV police are going to yell and scream at me. But it's like in the contest, you got you're shooting for a number. I was close. This was wrong, and that's okay. And the way that 3 closed, like I was wrong on the day, but do it again. If my wife ever lets me have $6,000 again, I'm in it again.
Well, at least you didn't get married on Belmont Stakes Day.
That's right.
You got
Who
that
would
going
do
for
that?
you. Fear Kapal said, is based in Ireland, I believe, from your earlier comments. Only got 7-4 on fixed odds. We should have looked at the fixed odds market. They would have known. They would have known how good Warm Heart was going to be there.
I don't really know how those markets, how they move, if they move like ours or whatever, or what's getting bet into them. I have no idea, but I still think 7-4, that's higher than I thought it would be, right? So I thought she'd be even lower than that. So, but yeah, good job. It's just one of those things. And I said it before the race that it's very rare you get these situations. Usually, if you absolutely just, oh my God, I love a horse, you get here and it's lower morning lines than or more lower odds than what the morning line is, and you're like, well, of course it is, but this was an odd one, so we'll take it. We'll move on. And listen, speaking of odds, if you like anybody but National Treasure, you got odds here in the Pegasus.
Great segue. You're like a true professional, Aaron Halterman. Yeah, 8-5 on National Treasure, 4-1 on First Mission. So some slight variance, but close off of what their morning line odds were, and plenty of other ones to go with. By the way, I wish TVG gave you the option to show you just how much you won without showing you how much you bet, because I can't. I had to screenshot what the Warm Heart race there, send it to my wife, and I'm just waiting to get yelled at for how much I bet in the first place on it. Not how much we won. How much did you risk in the first place? Anyways, we've got the field of 12 here for the Mile on 8 Pegasus World Cup on the dirt. My top pick is the same as Aaron's. It's First Mission, same as Nick's, because he was trying to play the double 3 into the 8 there. But Aaron, I'll go to you first. First Mission, give us a case one more time for why he was your top pick here.
Well, I'm not just real high on anybody in this race. I do believe his path to victory, kind of, for at least for my eyes, he seems to have the best path to victory. I say that because I do believe there's going to be pace in this race. I think the 4 is going to go, 7 is going to go, 9 is going to go. And I think that the pace will bother the 7 enough where he won't be able to get it done. And I think the 8 First Mission will be able to just sit right off of that situation and get first run, take over, and win the race and have the best chance to win the race. That being said, I do understand the 7 National Treasure. It's Baffert. Sometimes it looks like a lot of speed, but then the Baffert horse is just 2 in front anyway and wins. That could happen, but I think First Mission has a little bit easier of a path to victory. And I also think if you look at his 3rd race on the form cycle last time, it was his best race. This is his 3rd race of a form cycle here. I think he will run his best race today. And I think if he does, he's going to be really tough to beat.
Yeah, Brett Cox had kind of hinted or intimated that this was going to be, that this is his kind of horse of the year that he thinks he's got right here. He thinks First Mission could be that good. Now, he's lightly raced. There's just some potential upside. It's also a long-ass year that he's going to have to go through. And with the news that White Barrio, after the Saudi Cup, the plan is to target the Whitney and then the Breeders' Cup Classic one more time. Okay, so you're going to have to overcome White Barrio and how good he's looked lately, but yeah, I'm with you on First Mission. Nick, what about you? Aaron and I have talked all week long, daily, about how much we like First Mission. Give us your case for him, though.
I think if you look at the Lexington, when he came out of that, we were all saying how he's going to go and win the Preakness, right? And he didn't, because he didn't run the Preakness. But we all thought he was going to beat.
Thanks for the reminder. Had him in fantasy.
Right? But it seems like we all thought that he was better than National Treasure back then. They haven't faced each other, and he hasn't done anything to make you think he's not going to do it. So I think First Mission is probably your most likely winner. Based on the double will pays, it certainly looks like they're going to be pretty close in odds, though those double odds have not been keeping up with the win odds. It feels like a derby type day where lots of money is going into the win pool and not so much in any other pool. So it'll be interesting to see where they actually end up, because I don't think it'll make up that much of a difference. But I think First Mission is your most obvious, like the most likely, based on the way he's ran. But given all that, like, he just beat Trademark, or he lost to Trademark by a nose. So why couldn't Trademark come back and do it again? Trademark, not very good, loses all the time, rans all the time. But I kind of like Trademark in some sort of way, not like, oh man, he's going to win this race, no question. Trademark's the greatest horse ever, but he sort of fits in this race because it's a race that, you know, kind of goes all over the place. And then the one that I really hate to say is Hoist the Gold, because I don't know how many times I've lost on Hoist the Gold. It feels like every time. But the way the track has been playing, it seems like it could go in a circle. I mean, other than Hijazi, who just seemed to burn himself out, it seems like if Hoist the Gold gets the lead, he may stop at 6 furlongs, because he seems to like to run 6 furlongs. But if the track carries him further, like, I could see Hoist the Gold just carrying it all the way through. So that's sort of where I'm looking, is like, I like the 8 kind of on top. Is like, that's the one that's going to win the race. If odds didn't matter, I'm on the 8, playing the odds. It's like, the 4, I can make a case for. The 5, I can make a case for. Like, if we wanted to, I can make a case for everybody here, right? I mean, this race, the older handicap division is really, really strong, and we have some real favorites. I mean, what's his name? Art Collector won this race last year, so it kind of feels like, yeah, when Senior Buscador wins, yeah, we all kind of knew that would happen. Or Ilmo Arcola all of a sudden wins races. It's like, oh yeah, Ilmo Arcola, he hasn't ran a race or won a race in God knows how long, but yeah, Pegasus winner, why not?
They just showed the actually still are right now the track handicappers at Gulfstream, what they picked, and Warm Heart was not even on some of their top 4s, right, Aaron? Okay, so if you're a First Mission supporter, I've got good news for you. Only 3 of the 5 track handicappers have First Mission in their top 4. Daily Racing Form is one of them, and they were the Daily Racing Form handicapper was the only one that had Warm Heart on top, I believe, for the Filly Mare Turf. Everybody has National Treasure, no surprise. They also have the 2, O'Connor, and that one's a little surprising to me that Claudio Sabadaro has O'Connor winning this race. One of 2 Saffie Joseph horses in here. Personally, I like Skippy Longstocking better between the 2, but O'Connor does have that win last out in the local prep, the Harlan's Holiday, by a neck over Grand Aspen. Aaron, for me, kind of a deciding factor in O'Connor not really being a strong consideration is he only beat Grand Aspen by a neck, and I'm not high on Grand Aspen in here. I think he's got talent. I just don't think he's got the talent that's going to do well in this race. So that's why I left him off. What about you?
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. If you liked that last race and you want to use Grand Aspen and O'Connor, and I've seen people that did like it. I didn't like it very well, so I'm definitely not going to use those 2 horses. But yeah, I think the key to this thing is, and Nick really kind of pointed it out, this is a race where it's hard to kind of have a strong opinion because you've seen these horses run too much, and you've seen them be inconsistent, and some of them you've seen kind of just consistently not be that good. So it is hard to really kind of lock in on a horse. Like for all of us who like First Mission, you know, on the stream here, you like him, but you also go, well, I don't think he's great. You know what I mean? It's like, we're talking about the Pegasus, so yeah, he should be, you know, but you know, it's like, if you like National Treasure, and I can't really blame you if you do, because maybe you just kind of come in here and you go, well, you know what? It's Bob Baffert. It's a speed horse. He ran so good last time out. He just barely got beat by the horse of the year. I'll go National Treasure. I'm not going to overthink it. Then you look back through his form, and it's like, yeah, he really was not very good until that last race. And he got a really easy lead, so maybe that was it. So no matter who we're going to bring up in these next however many minutes before this race goes off, we're all going to say, yeah, there's good things to like about them. And then there's like, there's this red flag that I really hate.
Yeah. When you say that, it's like, I look at National Treasure, it's like, he ran 4th to Skinner last year. Like,
yeah.
Well, okay. And he's going to win the Pegasus? Like, I'm sure he is, but, you know, Baffert, sure. Right? Like, and I think that one of the beauties of horse racing, one of the things that I keep coming back to and why I like it so much is you can make the case for any of these. And if they were just betting, even money, it's like, well, that's no fun. This is where it's fun to be like, well, I can make a case for Crouppy. All right, well, I'm going to get paid 30 to 1. And if I write 1 out of 30 times, then I'll be okay. And, I'm not making a case for Crouppy, but I've seen people make cases for Crouppy, and he's won his last 2 races. So when Crouppy wins, we're all going to say, what? What is going on? And, yep, horse racing. Got to love it.
Yeah. I mean, and to that point, that's why I couldn't go National Treasure, just because it's like, I don't have any problem betting a 6-5, 7-5, 8-5 horse that I love, but when I look at a field and I go, God, I can't do it. Like, he may win. I physically can't put that wager in on National Treasure at that price. Like, and again, if you're doing it, that's fine. And I'm not saying you're dumb for doing it. I'm saying I personally can't.
Well, and you can, I'm not going to say you're dumb because it's not my YouTube show, but if you want a 7-5, like, Santa Anita is running right now. You can go find a 7-5. Like, you don't have to bet on this race. There's other races you can bet 7-5s on and feel a little bit more comfortable with. Like, I don't really like First Mission at currently 3 to 1, and maybe it ends up at 2 to 1. Like, yeah, I'll bet him because I'm here and I don't want to see him betting and then not actually play him. So I'll bet some money on him. But First Mission should be good. But he's been good a couple of times. He's had enough layoffs that you can kind of make a case against him. And so having this, having it be so short is somewhat annoying. Sorry, I'm moving my phone as Dr. Tang tells me he's alive to a whole bunch of money to trademark. So we can trademark home together, or we can root against him, and he's not here to defend himself. So even better, really.
Yeah, we can, and we will, right, Magic?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. We absolutely will. Speaking of doctors and bad picks in this race, Dr. Miranda loves Hoist the Gold in this spot. And I saw come on, she's not watching, I can say that. But I did see a great discussion, I think. Silver Charm asked, why is he taking Hoist the Gold 26 starts to try a mile and an eighth? Has only ever tried longer than a mile once. He's a by mine shaft out of a Tappet mare. Should love it. My answer is the trainer. It's Dallas Stewart. But Dallas, I never, ever can get right, which is why, if you bet against Dallas Stewart, you're right about 90% of the time. But Aaron, realistically, the breeding says he should get there. Is there anything about his running style other than that, he went gate to wire last time? Is there anything that you've seen from him that makes you think 9 furlongs he can do?
No, there isn't. But I will say this about him. If they just kind of assume what I just did and be like, hey, let him do what he wants, he's coming back no matter what, there is a world he could go gate to wire. And again, I'm not playing him and I'm not really endorsing a play on him. I'm just saying, here's a situation. He's in pretty good form. We saw him run really well last time out, right? He breaks really well, goes to the front, and everybody's like, yeah, no, don't mess with him. We'll just kind of sit back. At Gulfstream, that speed does tend to hold a little bit longer than maybe it should. So maybe that's his path to victory. I don't really think a lot of that is actually going to happen, but I think a lot of that could happen, right? Like, there is a scenario where I could see it happening like that. But to me, though, at the end of the day, there's not much on paper that says he's going to win a mile and an eighth race.
Yeah.
Kevin B says the third choice in the Grade 1 Pegasus is a sprinter. Hoist the Goal. That's all it says about this year's edition. Ashley brings up, according to how today's gone, it's either going to be Safi, Saez, or an Ortiz who wins this. And right now, Safi's got 2 of them, O'Connor and Skippy Longstocking. The Ortiz brothers are riding for Pletcher. You got Irad on Dynamic 1 and Jose on Grand Aspen. So if you like those, and of course, Saez on First Mission, and that's who we are all riding on here to get the job done. Anna and Ashley both liking the 1 Nimitz class. This is a horse that was privately purchased and brought to the Pegasus World Cup. Actually gets into the main event after New York Traffic. I think he's still a Safi, right? Safi horse that ended up withdrawing from it. So Nimitz class kind of gets in because of defections. But Aaron, does that mean he has no chance at all? I was surprised to see him and surprised to see people vocalizing support, but he's pretty cold on the board.
He'd be a shock to me, but I've been shocked a time or two on this card, so we'll see.
Art collector.
well, yeah, that's for sure. I don't have any interest in that horse, and again, when you handicap and you put out products, you definitely you even though like you see a race and it's like, oh, I'm going to play this horse. I know it. You still do your work. You still do your homework. You go through all the horses. And this was one I just went through and I was like, I don't see a path for victory to this horse. I don't think he's fast enough.
So the odds are changing since I last looked over there. So 2-1 now on National Treasure. That's a bettable price for sure on him. And 5-2 on First Mission. And a big part of that, Kelly brings up, our boy Senior Buscador is getting hammered. 20-1 morning line down to 9-1. Aaron, are bettors looking at this thinking it's going to be a pace collapse?
Well, I'm not surprised. I think 20-1, number one, was a horrible morning line. I don't think he was ever realistically going off that. And again, yeah, I think you look at the form. He's kind of that consistent horse. Everybody kind of likes to bet a closer. And yeah, you look at it, the 4, the 7, the 9, and even the 8, maybe if he gets acting up or doesn't want to sit today, they all could go out there. I mean, there is a world where Buscador wins. The problem I have with him, and I love him, don't get me wrong, but the problem I have with betting him, can he really get all the way there? I'm not sure. I think you're going to see him flying. I think he could get up to hit the board. I don't know if he's going to be able to pass them all because that's probably what he's going to have to do. He's probably going to be last.
Nick, you're shaking your head in the way that the comments were up. People couldn't see that, but you're agreeing with Aaron. Senior Buscador is just not going to be able to get there in time. I think 4th is probably the best he can get here, unfortunately.
I've loved Senior Buscador since Aaron drafted him in the Racing Dudes Fantasy Draft. That's what I remember, and I bought into the Springboard Mile like Aaron did. I'm still buying into the Springboard Mile, just for the record. I don't think it's going to win the Derby, but they always produce good, solid horses. And I think Senior Buscador has proven he's really, really good. I just think a 1.125 at Gulfstream, you can't win on the dirt the way he runs. Like, it's just, what horse can do that, right? Senior Buscador is great. He's not that great. And I think that's his biggest thing, is he's against the bias. He's against the track, right? And the short turn in the first turn, it's just tough to have a closer that's going to do that. So if he can get out of the gate and all of a sudden sit 3rd, right? If he comes into the first turn and he's sitting 3rd, well, then we're all going to say, well, Senior Buscador should win this. But we all kind of believe he's going to be last, and last may be best, right? Like, if he's lucky, he'll be last. I mean, he's kind of like Tappet Trice at the Derby, sorry, Aaron, where he's like, oh, man, he's 26 seconds behind. Like, he has no chance. And I kind of feels like that's what Senior Buscador is going to do. I think Senior Buscador going longer is going to be great in this kind of division. Like, on Derby Day, I'm sure there's some long race he'll run in, and he'll probably be great in it.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much, right? I mean, it really, like I said, like maybe if it's like I don't know what track favors a closer, none of them really, but if there was a more favorable track, this one certainly doesn't, right? So it's just, I told somebody earlier, I think it was maybe Thursday, I don't know, Thursday or Friday, blends together, but I said if for some chance Senior Buscador could sit where Trademark is going to sit, then he would really be dangerous, right? If he could just get to mid-pack and then have that same burst, he could get all the way there. But I don't know, Magic. The likelihood of a bunch of them having to kind of come back to him, I just don't – it's possible, but I don't think it's probable.
Not in this race, not the Pegasus World Cup. If this was a grade 2, a grade 3 – in California, you could absolutely see that happen, but it's Aaron and I, we love Todd Fincher, the trainer. We love Joe Peacock, the owner, the breeder. This damn Rose's Gold has produced hit after hit after hit. Senior Buscador being the best, but she's still producing some great ones as well. So we would love to see, like Ron says, another homebred. Would love to see this happen. Always love success for the horse. I got to see Senior Buscador at the Breeders' Cup back in the barns afterwards, so just a really cool moment. But tell you what, if we lose the First Mission bet because Senior Buscador wins, we're not going to be really upset on here. We're up for the day. If Buscador is the one that gets there, I'm gonna, I'll probably be that 13th person to do it, but I'm gonna be right there texting Joey Peacock and saying congratulations, that was flipping awesome.
Well, I mean, we're in a perfect spot for that, right? You and I, Magic, because it's like we're ahead. There's none of our bats are going to make that any different. It's going to be a really good day. So, yeah, I'll sacrifice the 8 to get the 6 home. I mean, that would be amazing.
Well, and I mean, the beauty of this is, and again, the reason I love horse racing so much is like, why doesn't Skippy Longstockton try to go to the lead? and O'Connor kind of breaks right, and all of a sudden you get a huge pace going in where you get 4 or 5 wide in the first turn, and then all of a sudden the pace does actually get crazy fast. Like, there's a world where it happens, and it's just not a 9-1 world. If it's 20-1, then I'm making the huge case about why Senior Brewster is the bet of the year at 20-1. So I'm perfectly happy to go both ways on this. Like, that's easy. It's like Senior Brewster is probably the best horse in this race, just not going to be the best horse to win this race, and there is a difference, and that's what handicapping and betting is all about, which is why it's the greatest.
That was an awesome. That was an awesome way to put it. Yeah, there is a world where it happens, but it's not a 9-1 world, and I think that kind of, you just said what handicapping is all about in one sentence there. What are the scenarios, and then what are the likelihood of those scenarios? Then you make the wagers, and that I'm with you 100%. At 9-1, it's probably not worth it.
Yeah.
Ron asked if we're live in the pick 4. We're not. The Tumbarumba Hijazi failure and Signator not showing up. I think he's actually, if you look closely in the dirt as they're parading, I think you can still see Signator trying to finish the Fred Hopper. But we're not alive in the pick 4. Mike Somich is alive in the pick 5, and he's got 4 horses. I got to go way back to find it. I already forgot which ones he needs in this.
I can read them off here. I've got them right here, Magic.
Go ahead.
I saved them. So, yeah, for Somich and for all Somobomb players, by the way, they hit the mid pick 5 as well, so this is just cherry on top for them. Somich is alive and Somobombs are alive to 2, 5, 8, and 9 here. So he left off National Treasure, but he's got 2, 5, 8, and 9.
Oh, boy. So I did see Signator has a match race against Husker Butch later at Delta Downs.
Bring him on. We're getting him.
So he's alive to 1,900 to 5,700 on a 50-cent bet. Not a bad way to end
Not
the day.
too shabby on that one. Does Gulfstream pay 4 out of 5 for the pick 5?
Yeah.
Hey, if the first mission or National Treasure wins, I'll still get probably like $3 back on that bet.
Well, and what's crazy is on a pick 5 where you get Warm Heart, who we all thought was going to be it's a low price. Like, that's a good payout. Like, it's the beauty of what a lot of money in a pick 5 pool will do for you.
The Tropical Turf pick 3, which was all favorites, Diddy ended up being the favorite in that spot. It paid $161, 100 something like that for a $3 base bet, and it was Warm Heart, who was Aaron's best bet of the whole card, Francesco Clemente, who was my best bet of the whole card, and Didia, who was both of our top picks. And I'm sitting here going, why didn't we play this bet? I forgot it was those like weird pick 3s in the middle. I always forget about them. I'm more of a traditional thing. Every time I play those, they don't go well. But this one, kind of kicking myself for it.
Sometimes like 99.9% of the time, like working in this industry is a blessing. But that when it's a huge day and you're so busy, and it's like, damn it, I didn't even think about that pick 3 there, and then it's like, but oh well, what are you gonna do?
Shadi says that she needs 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. What do you need it for? Did you play a pick? I think she was going to do a Frankenstein pick 5 between Mike and I's picks from Magic Mike. But let me know what you're doing on that one there. Kevin, I don't play horizontals often. Of course, today my top pick is 4 for 4 in the late pick 5. Do not use this as this today. If you go 5 for 5, do not look at this and go, oh yeah, no, I absolutely need to play horizontals now, because that's when it goes south for you.
Oh man,
do pick 3s. Rolling pick 3s are better.
I've learned to stop playing those horizontal wagers because of that. Because it's like, oh yeah, I got 2 out of them. I would have definitely singled those 2 and then covered the rest of them. It's like, no, I'm a very bad bettor. I'm an even worse handicapper, which is why I watch, other people's opinions. And then it's like, okay, well, I know what kind of should happen. And now it's okay. Well, first mission 5 to 2. Yes, please. I'm gonna hammer that with every penny I have left, which is only a few pennies, but I'm gonna play it at 5 to 2. Absolutely.
So Shotty's alive to that pick 4. So that's
still gonna be a nice one, right? With Tumbarumba.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. 2, 5. Yeah, no, I mean that's gonna be just fine. She's alive anywhere from, just real quick math, like 350, let's say, to 800 or so. So I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Trying to see if I can. The pick 6 payouts are just. Nobody wants to post those. I'm not sure why that's something that they don't show.
They never do.
Yeah, it's very strange. It's the only place that has the jackpot that doesn't post it.
Yeah, it's dumb. Very dumb.
Yeah. Oh, well. Something dumb in horse racing. Must be a day that ends in Y's.
I figured you guys are going to be on for another 17 minutes to get the start of Turfway going, right? I mean, that's what we're really here for. This was just an appetizer to get to Turfway.
You joined the Discord for all the Turfway coverage.
You're welcome.
Seriously, if you like to play Turfway Park, Rodney gets the Turfway Park chat, the channel. That thing is bumping every time that there's something going on there. And speaking of the big guy, he says he's alive in the Daily Double, pick 3 and pick 4 to the 6, 7, 8, 9. The guy who wouldn't take his mouth off of National Treasure long enough to breathe all week long is alive 4 deep in this race. Just let that sink in.
I've already told Rodney if First Mission wins this race, I'll never, ever, ever let him hear the end of it. Kevin B knows. He's like, what?
Well, Rodney's played Turfway too much. You've got to use 4 horses in every race at Turfway because it's all just kind of janky. Hey, Lori, good friend of the show. Lori, alive to 2, 5, 6, 8, 9. So going with the nice trademark play on that one. Let's see. Yeah, Michael's alive to the pick 6. He just wants to know how much he's alive for. Trademark in the pick 4 pays $1,400. Vicky Oliver, traditionally not too successful when it comes to the big grade 1 and grade 2 dirt routes stakes, but listen, it doesn't mean that's what kind of horses has she been putting into those, and Trademark has proven himself against, he beat First Mission last out. You've got that to go for. By the way, if you want to join the Discord, Shotty's got the link in the chat. Click on it. You can join us. We'd love to see it in there. When I love a horse, I always go 4 deep.
Oh, don't worry. We've been giving him hell.
Yeah, if you want night racing, go to Charlestown, 53K carryover. Guaranteed the lowest payout is $220 at Charlestown. So if you like to play 1 to 9 shots, they never pay 1 to 9. It's a guaranteed 1 to 5. I don't know why you said Jared Goff, but thank you, Jared Goff. There we go.
All right.
Lions colors, right there, baby.
As you were talking, we've got a favorite flip. First Mission now. Oh, nope, it just flipped again. Nope. Yeah, National Treasure and First Mission have been flipping between 2 to 1 and 5 to 2 here. So interesting, very interesting.
Yeah, they look like they're going to go off about the same based on the will pays, which has not been as accurate as it normally is. It certainly feels like that, but I mean, if you look at that, it's like everybody else is 9 to 1 or better. So it's kind of the perfect board if you hate the 2 favorites. It's all you can hope for is a 12-horse race where 2 kind of favorites and then 30 to 1.
Yep.
Nimitz class 34 to 1. What a deal.
Yep. 2 short prizes and then who knows after that. Yep.
It feels like Turfway.
It does. Yeah, it's back. We can't get away.
Except Nimitz class is going to win here. So it will be exactly like Turfway.
Right.
Only at Turfway would Nimitz class win this race. Otherwise.
Yeah. Groupie could win a Turfway.
Groupie loves the synthetic.
Noah asking if everyone knows Cox was at Fairgrounds for the Justify first-time starter here for First Mission. I didn't actually see him, but I would assume he was here. When you have a Godolphin horse and that's supposed to win a Grade 1 race, your ass is with that Godolphin horse, or you don't have Godolphin horses much longer.
You would think, yeah.
Hey, there we go. Olsen says the racing dude's got him to use trademark, so if he wins, donation coming.
Good. $2,000. Straight to me, though.
$30,000 straight to the Oaklawn Park bursar, and you get a free horse with that donation.
I was going to say, if you give me $30,000, I'll send you a horse. He's real friendly.
As Nick Sievers has recently found out in the last 6 months, horse ownership is the gift that just keeps on giving to somebody else out of your bank account.
Yep. True.
Low-level players. Definitely.
All right, Ramir says they're interviewing him on FanDuel or on TV, okay. So, okay. That's good. 0 minutes to post.
Yeah, it's been 0 minutes to post. My favorite story I've ever had was I was in Reno one time, the greatest gambling city in the world, and I was in my hotel room, and Gulfstream Park was at 1 minute to post. I went down the elevator, across the casino, to the window, stood in line, made a bet, lost my bet, but was able to do it at 1 minute to post at Gulfstream.
And that's why you're mad at Gulfstream for the post drag draw delays.
Worst.
Yeah, we get it.
These exactas are outrageous. I don't know if you guys have looked, but it's 15-1 of first mission over National Treasure.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Okay, where's my credit card? Hold on. Drag post, we're good.
Yeah, any exacta you play is a good wager right now.
Okay, well, I heard it from you, so I'm playing it that way.
Well, I mean, like the lowest
Absolutely
exacta is $15. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
All right,
So
tell us your exacta bets in the chat. We got Kevin B says he's got 8 to win first mission, and then first mission over O'Connor, National Treasure, and the 12 Skippy long stocking. I'll throw it to Aaron first. Give me an underneath horse to finish second at least 10-1 odds right now on the board.
Oh, Senior Buscador is 9-1. Damn it.
I'm saving you.
That was good. I'll go 8-5.
Ooh, I like that one. Nick Sievers?
I was 8-5, so I will change it to 8-4. But I'm playing a 2-3.
He's 9-1. Try again.
Oh, I'm looking at the exact.
It's got to be double-digit odds. Yeah, don't use the morning line.
Currently, how about O'Connor?
He's going to go 8-2. Hey, that would make Kevin B happy if it goes 8-2. I'm going to go. Somich, by the way, says 8-9 cold. I don't hate that one either. I think Grand Aspen could run a good one here. I was actually going to say 8-5. Aaron had that. I'm going to go. He's 9-1. Shit.
You made the rules. Your fault.
Yeah.
I did. I got bit my own rule. You know what? We'll go 8-3. Irad got Catnip up there not Catnip, the other one, to finish second to Warm Heart when she set a track record. So Dynamic one night might win, but he might be pretty good here. Woo! They're going into the gate. It's post time, finally.
I know. We've almost made it, Magic.
We've been live for 2 hours and 11 minutes so far, and that's not counting Dudes Who Bet Daily earlier today. Shoddy, 8-1 for Chaos, Nimitz Class, the George Weaver trainee. JL likes the 2-3 box. They're loading them quick. If National Treasure doesn't have the lead going into the first turn, does he win?
No.
I don't think so.
It's hard. It would be a lot of chaos to happen for him to win. I'm with you on that one. Silver Charm, fading first mission.
Let me just say, unless it's a situation where there's one way out in front and then he's way out in front of the next pack sitting in second. Something like that, yes. But no, most likely.
2 left to load. Senior Buscador going in. Such a cool horse. And the last one in will be Skippy Longstocking here. National Treasure 2-1. First mission 5-2. After that, pick your favorite long shot. Skippy's in the gate.
Who's acting up?
Croupy.
Look like the 10, Il Miracolo. They're off.
There he goes. Okay.
And National Treasure is not going to have that lead. Johnny V, he's not, at least not going to have it easy. Johnny V wants Hoist the Gold out hard. First mission, a nice break. Skippy's going to go 3 wide after them. We're going to have a fast pace for sure here.
He's going after it. National Treasure and Hoist the Gold, they're banging heads.
Trademark sitting there. Nice first mission. Stuck a little wide in between horses there. And he's also got... Who was that outside of him? Skippy's outside of him there, too. Yeah. 23.18. And National Treasure is sitting second. Wow.
They backed him off a little bit. I mean, they're moving. There's going to be a chance for somebody to come in that second pack or behind and beat him. But, these Baffert horses, sometimes they don't stop, so we'll see. He's cruising. He's not running just terribly fast.
46.32. Still going quick. They're starting to all gain up, though. I think Johnny V slowed down on Hoist the Goal because they all just bunched up. First mission already coming under a drive.
Yeah, he don't have it, I don't think.
He does not have it at all. Nope.
Could be National Treasure with ease here. Let's see.
Unless Hoist the Gold doesn't stop. I mean, he doesn't look like he's slowing down.
Hey, there's Buscador. He's on the scene. And O'Connor with a huge run.
O'Connor's making a move.
Oh, come on, Buscador.
Come on, Buscador.
Come on, Busky.
Buscador's going to get the rail trip.
But the inside.
Come on,
Buscador.
National Treasure with the lead off the turn. Buscador is hot on his heels, but I think National Treasure's... Come on, Buscador!
Oh.
Get up there, Buscador! Get up there, Buscador!
Come on,
get up there, Buscador! Go get him! Go get him, Buscador! Come on!
Get him.
Oh, 7-6 by a head. Oh. Woo.
Wow. I thought he had it.
Buscador! Man, what a hell of a run to get up there for second.
That was fun.
I mean, that race.
Wow.
Like we say, you'd have to for him. I mean,
Pratt, you called it right when it happened there, and Pratt kind of backing off just a little bit on the backstretch is what saved National Treasure. He turned him off just enough, catch a breather.
That was awesome. Yeah, no, I thought when he turned him off and they showed that head on, it's like he's cruising. He's not really exerting a whole lot of effort there because he was early, but then he was not at all. So. That won the race, and also he just ran a monster race as well. Wow.
Dogs are going crazy in the background too. Man, for Buscador to just miss him by I think it's officially going to be a neck there.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh man.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh man.
That was great. That was a great race.
Wow. That was a hell of a horse race.
Yeah, that was fun. You really never believed he was going to do it, but he really kind of fooled you into thinking he was going to do it this time. He's like,
mile and a quarter, he gets it done.
Yeah, well, unless they actually run a mile and a quarter, then he wouldn't have.
First mission has been added to the race at Delta Downs with Signator and Husker Butch.
Yeah, boy, that was bad. Whew. That was bad from first mission. I mean, brutally bad.
Yeah, there was no reason.
So Ashley Gordon said, if National Treasure wins, I know nothing about horse racing. And then asked, how could he keep that up? Baffert's a cheater. Well, yes. You didn't know that Baffert's a cheater. Yes. Got the job done there. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Ashley. You're on these all the time. You can't be surprised by that. And if you still are surprised by that, I don't know what to tell you, man, or woman. I don't know which you are. I mean, that I'm not surprised that this is what happens.
Krupe gets up for third at 30-1. Hoist the Gold held on for fourth. O'Connor fifth. You had said it a lot, Aaron, that we were both led first mission, and I had asked you, I said, in your pick 5, you're using the top 2 horses here off the morning line, and they're going to be the top 2 horses betting-wise. And I said, how can you justify that from a ticket construction standpoint? And he says, because it's Baffert. Because sometimes a Baffert horse just doesn't stop. Now, why that didn't be Hijazi earlier, I'm going to be mad about, but National Treasure, she just showed, that was kind of like the Preakness, right? At the Preakness, he had a little bit of an easy lead early, but he got brave on the front end and just kept going, and that is his best style.
Yeah, look, I mean, with National Treasure, I think what he showed today was he's turning into a very good horse. He backed up that day at the Breeders' Cup with this one, and I was pretty impressed that he was able to kind of turn it off, because it really looked like on the turn he was in a lot of trouble. Like he was gonna go head and head, and that wouldn't have worked. But when they asked him when Pratt asked him to turn it off, and he did, and he waited, and then he went again, that was the sign. Okay, this horse is kind of turning the corner and becoming very, very good. So, yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, you can talk about all that shit they talk about on Twitter that I don't care anything about with ticket construction. But at the end of the day, it's Baffert. Like, yeah, you can play them both actually because you want to win, And if you played the Somobombs
You got paid today. You got paid all over the place. So congrats to Mike Somich. I wish he was on here, but we'll celebrate for sure next week. And by the way, Ashley, I did see, where is it? Thanks for reminding me. Ashley also did have 50 to show on Crouppy.
Yep.
We'll see what the payout's here for a second, but 30 to 1, a $50 show bet. That's whatever they show, multiply that by 25. And you had Buscador up there in the show pool as well. So getting first mission out of there is going to make that definitely pay very well.
Yep.
Where is it?
Yep, it's going to pay.
70,
There it is, $50. And yeah, like I said, getting one of the two out is big for you on that one. Yep.
Yeah, congrats. Listen, you can be right and wrong at the same time. You got right, and I think you're going to get paid very well for that. Mm-hmm. Kevin wants to know, is Heather still going to have a long night after that race, too?
Of course. Dude.
This race was gravy for us.
Yeah, I didn't really care much about this. Listen, the warm heart was the big thing, and if she won, Heather was going to have a long night either way. So I don't even feel right saying that again. I got to stop that.
You also, I didn't let you play a 7-6 cold exacta because his odds were 9 to 1. He went off at 8 to 1, but you did like Senior Buscador to get second there. Oh, you liked him under first mission, but still, you did like him to get second.
Yeah.
Where did Somich choke? He hit the pick 5.
No, he didn't.
He
didn't have senior national treasure because he's one of these guys that thinks about positive EB structures instead of just playing a Baffert horse that's 5 to 2. So that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, he didn't hit the pick 5. That's right. He didn't have national treasure. My bad. All right. Well, he hit the middle pick 5.
And all the guys that don't know anything about anything can give you props for it, but you lost. I mean, that's my point. Sometimes you just. What are you going to do, you know?
Well, and Kevin came into this saying, I never play horizontals, and of course my top pick was 4 for 4 for the late pick 5. He was so against National Treasure, Kevin. You learned without spending the money, pick 5s are not for you, and that's totally fine. We all have things that they're not for us, and that was a great one. A great day of racing overall, ups and downs, some amazing performances, some absolute champions getting the job done. Before we get out of here, we'll go around the horn one last time. Aaron, final thoughts on Pegasus World Cup Day.
I mean, it was great. I thought it went very good. You know, got 2 of the 3 Pegasus races right, and so that's always good. And listen, the one I wasn't very confident on was the one we missed. So really good day. Good day for the Bible. I think I ended up almost 100% ROI. I'll have to check it. I haven't really, I've just been kind of sketching it right now. I think I was about 100% ROI for the bankroll, and then Jared was up. I think he ended up being up about $20 for his. So good day, very good day. We're right back here next week with another Bible because we've got Holy Bull Day, so we'll cover that whole card, and then we'll have all the other 3 preps as well on the next Bible coming up next week. So great day, great way to start off the year with the Bibles. We'll be right back here next week.
Nick Sievers, any final thoughts before we get out of here, buddy?
The order division may be fun this year. It may not be good, but it may be fun. Which, as people like to bet on horses running in a counterclockwise circle, kind of all you can ask for. Like, I don't think we have any superstars, but you don't need superstars. Like, that's what Turfway's for. So I'll see you guys up. I missed race 1, so see you guys at race 2 in the Discord.
Ashley's $50 show bet on Crouppy returned $315. So congratulations to you, Ashley. Genuinely mean that. That is a very nice payout, even if you didn't like National Treasure in here, and that's okay. We have a lot of horses that we like or don't like. It can prove us wrong all the time. One more time for Aaron Haltzman, Nick Sievers, Jared Welch, Mike Somich, Dr. Miranda, Vinny, Blond, iMagic. Thank you for joining us for this one. It is prep season in full gear, and that means live stream Saturdays. We're coming back next week because we have not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 Kentucky Derby prep races next Saturday. So we're kicking off February with a big show coming at you. So make sure you tune in to the Racing Dudes YouTube channel, youtube.com/Racing Dudes. Before you leave, if you haven't yet, please give us a like on this video. It helps a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you visit racingdudes.com for free picks every race, every day, every track across the country. The best bets page continues to be hot with Aaron and I doing superb on the racing picks. Papa Dude with the sports picks, especially the men's basketball. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We will see you next time. Where the hell is your outro? There it is. Bye-bye.
I sat through all of that for that?
28 minutes.
You. Whoever booked that, and I think I know who it might have been, a hearty you. What a goddamn waste of time.